Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ for a very special, festive Thankmas channel audit live stream. This is going to be a little different to usual. We usually say, please don't give us any money because we don't want to create a financial barrier to channel audits and the service that we provide. But we're doing a complete 180 this time, and we want as much of your money as possible, but for a very, very good cause, which is Thankmas, spearheaded by Jacksepticeye. And hopefully you will see very soon on the right-hand side some donation suggestions that will help you get a shout-out, become a member of a vidIQ Discord channel, even a channel audit, possibly even a Savage audit. But to help me do all of this, I'm going to welcome on a cavalcade, a festival of Christmas guests here. And we're going to start, as always, with Travis. Hello, Travis. How are you? Welcome to the live stream.
Hey, everybody. I'm back. I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope you're ready for next week's holidays festivities and your channels are ready to be audited.
And also, we have Jeff in the house as well.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is feeling good, feeling festive, and ready to get their channels audited.
Great stuff, Jeff. Alexi making a rare audit appearance, but hello, Alexi.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome introduction there from Alexi. He's a man of few words, but it's
a German version of Dan.
And finally, down in steerage as usual. That's a Tuesday channel audit joke. We have Dan of a H variety, not of a C variety. Hello, Dan. How are you?
That's what it sounds like in storage most of the time. I wore my fanciest Christmas shirt to this, so everyone awesome. Say hello to Chewbacca as well.
So at least two of us made an effort to look festive. All right, so let me quickly introduce to you why we're doing this. This is for the Thankmas charity donation thing that Jacksepticeye spearheads, and it's towards Red Nose Days. But just to give you a quick idea of why we're doing this, it's during this year of uncertainty, Thankmas is teaming up with Red Nose Day to help provide children and families with urgent support and important hope during COVID-19. If you are donating enough for a channel audit, please include your channel URL. We'll include all of that information actually when you do the donation. As you can see on the right-hand side now, these are suggested donation amounts if you want to contribute something to this live stream. Many of you already have done, which is fantastic. We set a goal when I set this live stream public yesterday of $500. And we broken it before we even started the live stream. So I was wondering maybe we just shouldn't bother doing a live stream. But that would be very dishonest of us. So we are now here, and we are now going to start auditing your channels in, I think, submission order, because some of you submitted very early yesterday. But we've also got some channel shout-outs to do. If anybody wants to ask a question, we're also going to do that. And we're going to try and get through all of this in the next hour or two. And if you do want to donate, then please do so. It will be very welcome. But we have so many channels to get through. We're going to start right now with a first channel that we're collectively auditing. And that is a person who submitted yesterday. First of all, so thank you, Sleepy Dreepy, I think your channel is called. You donated $25. Thank you very much. And this is how we're going to audit your channel. Let's start off with the legend that is Travis, and then we'll move across the team if you want to add anything. So what have we got here, Travis, for Sleepy Dreepy?
Pokemon.
Hey.
I know I'm not super into Pokemon. I think Jeff has a little bit of knowledge in this case, or at the very least ancillary knowledge of it. And I know that there are a lot of people in the tech field, including one of the larger tech YouTubers, Austin Evans, who loves Pokemon. So Pokemon has this kind of up and down cycle of being super popular for a time and then kind of meddling. But of course, that middle road is still pretty high when you compare it to a lot of other niches. And it really comes down to, what are you doing in Pokemon? Are you talking about the cartoon? Are you talking about the cards? Are you talking about the characters? Like, what are you doing? It looks like this says competitive and fun Pokemon content. I assume they're actually talking about the cards and not maybe Pokemon Go, because there are like so many aspects of Pokemon.
Yeah, true.
It would be better, I think, if you're more clear as to what aspect of Pokemon you're covering. I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
But it looks like when you start looking at the channel itself, cards, which is great. And I'm unsure if and I'm not really familiar with some of these, but I can tell that some of them are harder to read on the thumbnail than others, for me personally. Having said that, I do like some of the colors here. I like the surprise face when you're opening up with the question mark. It might look like one of the more plain thumbnails, but I think it actually comes across a little bit more genuine. Like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, I mean, I guess the question then is like, are people searching, or is this a search-based niche, or is it more of a kind of recommendation niche? Are people coming up looking for like, what are the best cards? Like, what are people searching for? Or is it something that people tend to get recommended on their homepage? So I would look into that to kind of get an idea of how to title my videos.
Jeff, it sounds like you've been labeled as a Pokemon expert here. Any more thoughts? Or are you
definitely not an expert, but but no, it's something that, it's definitely something that that I definitely liked in my youth. So it is pretty cool. And I agree with Travis that it should be much more clear. I know in the banner, they did put Pokemon trading card game, which is good. And I like the fact that they are doubling down on that. I would just make that much more clear if at all possible. Probably would work a little bit on the consistency, because it looks like they haven't done a video in 4 weeks.
I noticed that as well. I mean, the fact that they've got 150 subscribers and each of their videos is getting as many views as subscribers, if not more, is a good sign that you have a growing community, but you're not feeding them enough content. As simple as that right now.
Yep, that's really what it is. So updates are smart, staying up when the new decks come out or new packs come out, things of that nature. He's already doing that. The how-to content is very smart. That last video, how to get started playing Pokemon, like Pokemon for Dummies, excellent. 2020 edition, I would probably make that a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, definitely lean into the how-to content, because I know right now, as of right now, I would have no idea how to get started. So that's definitely something to lean into.
I think the channel is also going in the right direction in that they're not trying to show too many cards on screen. They're focusing on one, at most 3 cards, it looks like, and the importance of them. We've seen, I think, a Pokemon channel on Tuesday, which wasn't quite nailing the emphasis on the value of the cards. Although they could, I mean, just to give you an example, I like that you're showing only 3 cards, but then what do you pick out from these? Maybe the colours are a bit too contrasty, or there needs to be some focus on like a particular attribute to the card, would be my thoughts, just to give more emphasis. Last words from you, Alexi, if you've spotted anything here for our channel.
Right. I think I'm with you there, Rob, about the amount of cards on the thumbnail. Like sometimes less is more. So again, when you show a bunch of cards with a bunch of small letters, it's hard to read, right? So I would kind of focus maybe on the big image of the Pokemon itself. And another thing I noticed when you were scrolling down here, I actually noticed a vertical format video. So I guess I'm going to be the shorts guy in this session today. Definitely, if you feel like you have some jokes to crack, or some memes for the Pokemon community, I would definitely try that angle as well, like how to sell anything to a Pokemon player. That sounds like a joke attempt to me, and I would definitely lean into that to see what's possible. It looks like you've done 2 videos in shorts format. Like we all know, you might have done the video first and you feel like it didn't take off, I guess it's not worth it, but I would still try it, especially now when you're taking a break. It seems like point. Because of the frequency of uploads, just pumping out a quick video, that is 20 seconds long, just for people to see and for you to test the system, could be worth a try.
And the final thing I would just point out here is these are what the thumbnails look like 5-6 months ago. I think there's certainly some thumbnail evolution going on there, isn't there? They're trying to be more focused on a big object in the thumbnail, using text here and there, as you say, Jeff, practice with or Travis, the practice with the emotional face. If you were going to look at maybe the standard bearer of Pokemon card channels, you're probably already aware of this person, but it's Leon Hart. And just maybe sometimes you can almost feed, it's almost like channel jacking. You can look at what they're talking about and maybe you can feed off of their content, not necessarily copying them, but reacting to what they're doing. I mean, he's talking about a shiny Charizard. Maybe that's something that you can follow up because it's a card that's in vogue right now. But yeah, he might be the competitor you might add if you're using the vidIQ tools. So that is our first look of a channel audit, and that channel was Sleepy Dreepy, and that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple of hours. So if you do want your own channel audit, then you know where to donate. There is a link in the video description. We're not accepting super chats today. I've disabled that. The only way to donate is through the link to make sure that all 100% of the proceeds go to the charity. Right, this next one is one of our top tier donators. And this person wants a Savage channel audit. So we've given you a vidIQ perspective, but some people want an alternative perspective. So Savage, we have brought you in here. This, of course, is a $39.95 donation, your subscription package, as you tout often on a Tuesdays. So, hello, Savage. Are you there?
Yeah, I just want to ask
Savage.
you something, Rob.
Go ahead.
How long is it going to take me to get this money that people are sending to me?
Well, it's got to go through a third party, which is which is a charity. If you want to take it up with them legally and steal money from a charity, I'll leave that in your hands.
That sounds like a trap. It sounds like a trap. Okay, let me take a look. It is. Okay, first of all, your screen sharing thing is like double, so it's hard for me to read all this. You know, my savage eyes are kind of older nowadays. I'm taking some vitamin C to make my eyes better. Okay, look. Anthony Frischione. I think he was in the Sopranos, I believe, and you can see here with the money that he's definitely a Sopranos guy. I definitely appreciate Anthony. Let me take a look at this 1,000 sub giveaway. He's giving away 1,000 subs. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and subscribe to the Savage Man on IamSoSavage.com. I appreciate you greatly. Let me see what else. He has 2 1,000 sub giveaways. He has a Stacker Dream Gift. I don't know exactly what that means. He has American Gold Eagles. That's great. And what do you what I think will do well in 2020? Let me tell you what I think will do well in 2021.
What's that, Savage?
I mean, I don't know. 2020 was garbage. It was a hot fire. I don't know. I got to be honest. I have no literal idea what's going to happen in 2020. I don't think anyone does. Let me look. Now, this you got to remember, everybody, this person paid $39.95. My Savage cost. So I'm going to give him a little bit more in-depth look.
Please do. Yeah.
First of all, they got a lot of money, which is why they're able to spend the $39.95 for this. They're doing now. You know what I'd be curious about, Rob?
What's that?
I heard one time you guys talking about CPMs and RPMs.
Yeah.
And this is about money. How much money do you think this YouTuber could make?
That's a good question. Does a channel about coins have a high RPM?
I'm pretty sure that this guy has so much money he's gonna make Mr. Beast look broke. Is what I think is going to happen when he gets all of his views once he's now a Savage Audit customer. Let me look at some more. Okay, I see his fingers. And you might need to listen. He might need to clean his hands a little bit. I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to point that out, but you might want to wash your hands before you put them in these thumbnails there, son. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Let me just take a little bit more. I want to give him a little bit more for his money.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm giving him the Savage shout out. That's a toucan, isn't it?
Yeah. We audited a
parrot.
toucan channel. Yeah.
What? In the 6 sides of heck is going on here? Can I ask you a question? What does a parrot got to do with some coins? I don't understand. Listen, all right, I gave you $49.95 worth of savageness. I just want to wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for helping out the people that need. Those are, of course, the people who have not signed up for a Savage Audit. All those people are in need. So please find yourself $39.95. Stop going to Starbucks so much and get some of this charity.
Thank you very much, Savage, for your alternative channel audit. Now, I just want to check because I'm not sure if everybody donating quite understands what a Savage audit is. So, Anthony Frisone, I think it's only fair if we maybe offer a few things from the sensible side of a table. I just want to say we've looked at coin channels before, and you certainly get the idea of making the coin the hero of a channel, which you're doing, and they look fantastic. I think... coin channels is an area of YouTube where thumbnails leave a lot to be desired, and I think you have some of the best thumbnails, so continue to do that. That would be my advice. Jeff, Alexi, anything else you maybe have noticed here?
I would probably try, if we're going to take pictures of these, I prefer the ones where he's got the coin and it's kind of more of a simpler background, because sometimes when he's just kind of taking a picture and there's kind of like a busy room, it kind of makes it look a little weird.
Right.
But aside from that, make him pop a little more. Like I like the top one where he kind of added a red stroke. If there was a color that he had that he was going to go with on the banner, then we can add a stroke to all of these and really tie them together for consistency. But aside from that, overall, making sure the coin is the hero is really the way to go.
You know what I was thinking, Rob? Also, one other thing.
Go on.
This guy only does coins. It doesn't look like he does any dollar bills. You notice that? Have you noticed that?
That is a good point.
You know what's interesting? I bet when he makes it rain, it hurts. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
And he makes it rain, people just getting knocked in the head with 20-pound coins. I don't think it's a good idea to make it rain, son.
True. Alexi, aside from the savage nonsense, what do you think?
I mean, I'm with Jeff here because just holding a coin in your hands or just showing the coins on your table just gives the viewer this do-it-yourself type of look. It's more approachable. It's less synthetic. So just like a picture or a screenshot of a coin, it's a little bit too much distance between your content and the viewer. If you're more personable, just showing the coin in your hands, that's much better. And another approach, I like some of these thumbnails where you're showing like a ton of coins, like showing a lot of things. Like that's awesome. And
I picked out that one. That. Yeah, very much so. So, and I would finally say, Anthony, for his own, I don't think we've seen many coin channels which have a consistent audience. You've got 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully you're close to monetization. But look at the view counts on each of these. Very close to your subscriber size. I always say, when you're getting maybe as many views as subscribers, your audience, your community wants more content. It looks as if you're posting once a week right now. Could you do a little bit more? And as Alexis sort of briefly mentioned, I think coins in like little quick shorts might be something of interest as well, if you can do that in some artistic way. All right, so that is our first Savage channel. If you do want to donate and have your channel Savage, then we will certainly take a look at that. The next channel is going to be the Mike Lowry Show. Let's start with Jeff on this one. What have we got here?
Let's see. So new videos every Monday, Tuesday, latest news, gameplay, tutorial. So looks like, I'm assuming it's a gaming channel, but the value proposition kind of really isn't there. I mean, he's kind of given us the new videos every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Awesome. So we know that he's going to be consistent as far as that's concerned, but I'd rather see the value proposition be really, really upfront.
Yeah, let's go to the about section, because when you think show, you maybe don't think so much of a gaming channel.
Yeah.
But it's a guy who loves to play games, been playing games, so I decided why not. Doesn't really reveal too much more there, so
yeah, because I'm not even sure what games are we playing here. I don't know if that's something that I should be able to see immediately in these thumbnails. I'm assuming this is whatever Grounded is. That I'm assuming that's the game.
Yeah.
But I'm just, like I said, just for me, I'm unfamiliar with that game, so I didn't know.
So Grounded is a Xbox. It's on Xbox. I don't know if it's on PC as well. And interestingly, you're shrunk. You're like really small, and then everything else, like insects, and you're like super huge. So it's almost like a cartoon. You know those cartoon movies where like they get shrunk down.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the Borrowers.
Oh yeah. So what's interesting about this is, you just case in point, like Jeff and Rob looked at this and have no idea that has anything to do with this, and it's such an interesting aspect of the game that it's not being shown at all in the thumbnail, and I feel like that's a miss because it's such an interesting part of the game.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't pick up on that myself just from looking at it. It just didn't come up. Now,
yeah. I guess a slight counter argument to that is, like, if we don't know what a game is, we don't know what the game is. That's fine. But people who are aware of Grounded are fully aware of a game, and I'm going to applaud the creator here for being utterly focused on, like, we've never come across this game before, have we? Like Grounded. So it's great that they're not just looking at Minecraft or Fortnite. They've picked their lane. They're sticking to it. And the view counts, again, for a channel of its size, seem really healthy. Yeah. So there's a bit of a counter argument there, but I think we can, there's both sides of looking at that coin, so to speak. What do you think here, Alexi, on this one?
Yeah, I'm not too stoked about the thumbnails where it's like orange background, some text, and some expression on the left side. I think those repeat quite often. I think that, I understand that this might be like a series or some kind of like a show, but mixing up things just a little bit would be maybe a quick tip here. Now, in terms of the gaming thumbnails in regards to the game itself, again, you're correct. If we don't know the game, we might judge it. We might misjudge it. Let's put it this way. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen plenty of gaming thumbnails, right? They are very busy, very colorful, lots of text, lots of emotion and expression and all of that stuff. And I think that's present. So even without even looking at the competitors, I would say that he's probably like right there, competing for the spots, right? Yeah, I agree. And the views kind of confirm that. I mean, we can see 25,000, 21,000. You might think, wow, Grounded, never heard of the game. And nevertheless, here you are crushing it, to be honest.
Here's the thing I would notice, sorting by most popular. Your most popular videos look to be updates or where something new is coming into the game. So when you include new in the title, or there's an update, patch, those are your most successful videos. So if you can try and pitch more videos around the theme of updates, I think you are doing it to a certain point in some of these videos. But yeah, like you're looking at a patch 5 update right now. So any final thoughts here for the Michael Irish show, who I think maybe probably wants to change his channel name and his value proposition a bit, would be my last thoughts.
Can we head back to the main page there just to talk about playlists a bit? I think this, I looked at it yesterday. I don't know if it's changed. Can we scroll down there? Yeah, you see that first thing looks to be all his shorts in one playlist. So I don't know if he was going for the featured shorts playlist, which I believe only shows up on
good
mobile.
Point. Yeah.
But now he has a shorts playlist, which may be what he's going for. So we can't, presume. But there is a feature to have shorts playlists only appear on mobile. And that may be what he's going for. So you might want to look at that because now, it kind of gives a very same look to your channel here. Now that your top playlist is that thumbnail over and over again, just something to consider as you go forward.
All right. Thank you, Dan, but nobody gave you permission to talk. Let's move on to the next channel.
It's a great
that is Gadget Gecko. Again, thank you for your donation. And this is a regular channel audit. And so we do have a channel banner. So let's have a look at the videos. And Travis, I'll let you start with this one because it looks to be a techie one.
Yeah. So I like the idea. The best iPhone 12 mini phone cases will probably be something that'll work for a while, a couple of months, even though it's only a couple of days old. This can give views over time, assuming that, the content is good. Now, to be clear, like on all of these audits, we have to assume that the content is good because if we help you with titling and thumbnails and the content isn't good, your videos still aren't going to do anything. So let's just make sure we're clear about that. Short of that, the iPhone 12 Pro Max accessories thumbnail makes no sense to me. I don't understand that thumbnail at all. So I would, if I were scrolling through my feed, I wouldn't even stop to read the title because I don't know what it is. Like it doesn't imply anything specific. I like the cool gadgets for your room. It's interesting. It would get me to stop to try to read what it is. The one thing I'm concerned about is if you highlight over these, what is the content itself? Is it? See, this is kind of what I thought. This is what concerns me is that it's probably reused content,
stock footage at the very best.
It could be either. Like it's hard to know. Like when I see stuff like that, where I actually see videos that an actual obviously content in video, this happens to me all the time where people take my old reviews and then do this. So this looks suspiciously like that when I started looking at it because they're not on one particular type of gadget. They're kind of all over the place. So as long as it's stock footage that you can use and remonetize or reuse and you have rights to, fine. But I would hope that you're not actually looking towards other content creators and repurposing their content.
Yeah, is it one of those channels where they almost like borrow the advert for the product
and then
that's
an interesting one. I've seen people do that as well.
Yeah.
And I'm unsure how I guess I don't feel any certain way about it, but I wonder how that would be looked at when monetization comes up.
Well, I think the problem is that it's been, you can only a certain number of channels can do that to the point where if smaller channels try to imitate this, there's no reason to go to this channel as opposed to I can get these compilation things from this channel that I am already subscribed to and I know is reliable. It's this basic notion of imitating rather than taking like cues and suggestions from your favorite channels and turning it into something yourself. This feels almost like a carbon copy of what we've seen before.
Yeah, 100%. So I just have questions, but from someone who doesn't know coming here, this looks like a channel that he might be interested in. I mean, some of the thumbnails are really good. Like the Wise one is really good. But then there's some that are just kind of confusing, like the 12 Pro Max accessories.
Jeff, Alexi, do you have anything more to add to this one?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the only thing I could say would be, seems like they're uploading fairly consistently, but it's a very new channel. Yeah. Hopefully it isn't a repurposed content channel. Hopefully they'll start, making their own or at least doing a voiceover. So we can hope that that's what they're doing. The only other biggest glaring thing that I saw was that their channel banner gives you no value proposition. It's just literally repeating their name. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that at all. So, but yeah, that's just something that I would definitely look at.
And Alexi, if you have anything to add, do so, or 3 seconds of silence and I'll move on to the next channel. 3 seconds of silence. Let's move on to the next channel. This is another Savage audit. Get your glasses on, Savage. The Elliott family of 7. Fire content every single day. Savage, do you agree with such a statement? Savage. Where's Savage?
You say that as if Savage doesn't always have his glasses on, as if.
Look, I don't know. Rob doesn't seem to understand.
Feels like a costume change there for a second.
I don't know what Rob thinks this is, but I mean, I'm in the other room watching this stuff, so it takes me a while to get here. All right, the Elliott family of 7. You know, I used to know a family of 7 once upon a time.
Did you?
They're a family of 4 now.
Wow.
3 of them couldn't take it anymore. They had to leave. All right, so let's take a look. What do we got? Walmart Christmas gift haul. Let me tell you something about Walmart at Christmas. It's a war zone. You know that game Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Call of Duty is more peaceful than Walmart at Christmas. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I would never go to Walmart on Christmas. That's just the worst thing you could do. All right, let's see.
So next year's release will be Call of Duty Walmart.
I don't say Walmart Christmas time. All right, let's see. Why y'all sucking on blankets? That's like the Charlie Brown thing. What's that one guy who sucks on his thumb and has a blanket with him? What's that Charlie Brown character? You know what I'm talking about?
Linus?
Linus, that's him.
Linus Tech Tips.
Linus Tech. Look, Debo. Oh my goodness, they got a video of Debo. How did they do that? Oh my gosh, you know Debo passed away recently.
R.I.P.
Man, let me tell you something. That was the guy. If you ever saw Friday or anything else, or he was in the WWF a long time ago. Remember he wrestled against Hulk Hogan? Remember that there, Rob?
Zeus.
He called him.
Oh, Tony Lister. Right.
Yeah. He passed away recently. We want to say rest in peace to the big man. We appreciate you, everything you've ever done. How did you get it short? I don't understand.
Dark Knight, Batman.
I'm confused. How did he get it short? Okay, let's see. You got some Korean bulgogi. Have you ever had bulgogi steak lettuce wrap before?
I have not. No.
I haven't either. I have no idea what that even means. 12-year-old daughter dyed dad's hair. Look, that's a problem. Let's be honest. That dad shaved his head directly after that video. I hope you get 1 million views for it because 6 days ago your hair was blue and today is bald. We already know that. We know that's what happened. Let's see what else. How did they get so many videos in 5 days?
Shorts. That's your
Are
answer.
they all
YouTube
shorts?
Not all of them. There was a mix here.
Look, let me tell you about these shorts.
Yeah.
Let me look at these shorts. Homemade Red Lobster biscuits. Now, wait a minute. I would watch that. But wait a minute. Are you going to tell me how to do it in 16 seconds? Probably not. So now I'm going to have to go to Red Lobster and pay their absorbent prices and get some. You got me hungry now, paying money for nothing. Taco Bell Mexican pizza quirk. Did you know that Taco Bell stopped selling Mexican pizza? By the way, that's the last day I stopped going to Taco Bell. When they took away the Mexican pizza, I was done. I'm like, Taco Bell, no. Taco Bell, no. Mexican pizza was one of the only things at Taco Bell you get that was worth anything. And you get 37 tacos for 22 cents at Taco Bell, but there's a reason, because you get what you pay for. But the Mexican pizza was everything.
I've zoned out here. Is Savage still talking about the channel?
Sorry. One more thing about the chat. The family Elliott of 7. I want to thank you so much for being a Savage Academy member. We appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and send you a certificate of authenticity.
Oh wow!
Of this Savage audit, so you will know that it was not fake. This is true. This is true news.
All right then, Lexi. Anything to non-savagely add to this channel for us, if you can?
Right. I mean, one thing that I'm generally not a fan of is small text in thumbnails.
Okay.
And in this case, I feel like, this Dollar Tree's Christmas haul, like some of the logos and text, it's just too much going on. Like the Dollar Tree logo, sure, like I understand it's a branding thing and you felt like it's appropriate since the title has the word as well. But I feel like, just focusing on your family, on the happy emotions, on the Christmas tree itself, like that would be it, right? Like the Vlogmas and the Dollar Tree logo, in this case, almost unnecessary in my opinion. And like this does continue with other thumbnails as well. Right?
I was going to say, Alexa, do you think a good contrast to this, whereby the family is zoomed out a little bit, you can't really see what they're holding, versus this one where the family is a lot more zoomed in, you can see the food, you can see the reactions. I think that has more impact, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Jeff, what have you picked out maybe from this one?
I like what they're doing with the shorts. So it's a very good move. Some of them did very, very well, especially when they focused on something that was popular, albeit the Red Lobster delicious Cheddar Bay biscuits. But when you focus on stuff like that, it can definitely get you some views if that's what you're looking for. And then I agree, some of the thumbnails can be a bit busy. I would focus more, like if they're going to use that company logo to brand it, I'm all for that. Just make it bigger. Zoom in on the family. Instead of being so zoomed in on the entire picture, you could definitely pull them in a lot tighter so you can see the family a little bit clearer and get more human emotion in the thumbnail. But aside from that, overall, I like the fact that they're being consistent. So to give them some positive feedback here, the shorts is keeping them consistent. They're still putting out regular videos, which is good. So overall, I mean, I like what I'm seeing.
I actually got a great idea for them for content. As a matter of fact, the Elliott family of 7. What you do is you find the favorite kid. Now, every family, you have the favorite kid. The one that's good. That's actually going to do something with their life.
The talent.
You do a lot of videos with them. And that one kid you wish you didn't have, you kind of like, man, I don't know about this one. I don't think he's going to go nowhere. I don't think he's going to do well in life. You just don't put him in the videos anymore. Or you never know. It could be a girl. You never know. It's usually a guy, though. Just put the good child in all the videos and take that one that you just know isn't going to do anything with their life and going to be living at home for the next 30 years. And you just don't put them in the videos anymore. I think that's a great winning strategy. What do you think, Rob?
So the channel would be the Elliott family of 6 plus like the main star. Like they get their own billing or I don't know any of the child's names, but it might be Sally plus the Elliott family of 6 to give credence to the top star.
Like the new version of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. Going back to more serious stuff, I did sort by most popular, and I think food challenges tend to be the more popular thing, although you are doing a lot of things in your family vlog. So that, again, might be something to focus down on as your base. Like, you do all of these dollar hauls and so forth, but like 1 in every 4 videos might be what your subscribers are joining your channel for most. So that is the Elliott family of 7. Currently, we have raised $838. Thank you also. Hey. I mean, we've already nearly doubled my initial target. I just don't know how I'm going to logistically get through all of these audits now because lots more donations are coming in. But we're going to keep going with what we have. It is Premiere History. And then Savage, thank you. You can go away for a little bit now unless somebody wants to give another subscription here. And I'll let Alexi start off with this one. We're looking at crime and military in the 1800s, it looks like, from the value proposition.
Yeah, I'm always thankful to channels that actually do have like a clear value proposition in the banner. So just by looking at the at the overall design, history, crime, military, like all of that makes sense. And so now I'm kind of my brain is primed for what's to come. So I can see some military equipment, some country flags, some soldiers. I mean, everything is kind of thematically fitting. I would also say that for the most part, the thumbnail is actually doing a relatively decent job of communicating what's up. Yeah. Maybe the colors here and there could be like the contrast of the colors that you're using for the text could be a little bit more, pronounced sometimes. But I can definitely see, like, for example, the latest video, right? The crazy British WW2. Like there, you're being creative with the contrast. You're doing the red background for the gendrum part of the word, just so it stands out on the black and white picture. So definitely, I see some smart thinking here. So in terms of, let's say, the theme, this is a good example for a history channel that's honestly doing quite a few things right.
I think for the number of videos they have, they've been going for 4 months. They've got 20 videos here, and they're approaching 70 subscribers. Each video is getting dozens of views. But here's the thing I've noticed. Your value proposition is, I think, a little out of date because I don't think you really do anything about crime anymore. I don't really think you're about the 1800s anymore. It looks as if your focus is on World War II. And when you include that in your title and you talk about it, you're getting hundreds of views as opposed to World War I. And it's like a subtle difference of one number, but less people are invested in that. So I think focusing on your current popular niche is something you may want to continue to do. Let's have some words from Jeff on this one, if you have any to add.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll kind of echo what you're saying there in a sense. Hopefully they're using our extension and they can use the channel audit tool that's going to tell them what to double down on so they can kind of focus that aim. And I bet that they're going to see a lot of that coming up as World War II stuff, which there's a lot of interest around it. Even though it's, such a long time ago, there's still a ton of search traffic for it. So lean into what your strengths are. Not saying you can't talk about the other stuff, but these are videos and topics that if they win for your channel, you might as well make more of them.
Brilliant. And then Travis, any final words that you can maybe find for Premiere History?
I just kind of agree with everyone, and definitely thinking about historical great moments in history that are things you're used to seeing, like Jefferson crossing the Delaware and that sort of thing. Like those kind of moments make great thumbnails as well. Just kind of think about those big moments.
All right then, literally Boom. Thank you very much for all of the suggestions there for this channel. Right. What we're also doing here, as well as channel audits and Savage Academy, we're doing channel shout outs. So we've got like at least a dozen here that we're going to go through. So we're going to go through each one of you. I'm just going to say a name and then you're going to do shout out for this channel as it comes up on screen. So we'll start with Dan H. You are shouting out this channel. Who do we have?
King Damon.
All right, and King Damon is a board game channel, it looks like, with 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations on that first milestone. So that's kind of roughly how we're going to do this. Next up, Jeff, can you shout out this channel?
All right, so it looks like we got James Flores. And from what I can look at here, it looks like he's playing the organ, possibly the piano, doing some covers and stuff. But shout out to him, 1.39K subscribers. So congratulations. And yeah, man, keep doing your thing.
Thank you for the donation. Travis, who are you saying hello to here?
It's the Queen's Realm, which I think it means something in the UK, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What do we got here? We got Persona. So video game, looks like video games channel. We appreciate the donation there. Thanks, the Queen's Realm. You might be able to get 40 subscribers out of this. You never know.
All right, I'm just going to tidy up my tabs because I've already got plenty up here. Alexi, you're going to do your most enthusiastic, passionate shout out here for The Mentalist.
Right. The Mentalist, shout out to you. You've got 1.26K subscribers. Quite an interesting topic. Mental and emotional health. Subscribe for weekly videos. Yeah, absolutely. Like, kudos to you, man. Thank you for the donation.
It's an important channel to have. I always give extra shout out to these people who are who perhaps maybe have faced challenges themselves in their life. I don't know if that is the case for you, the Mentalist, but you're sharing value and connecting with others who sometimes feel as if they're alone in these struggles and journeys and obstacles, and you are offering like a collective voice where people can get together and really help from that type of content. I am going to do a shout out here for Mal versus Machine. Oh, I like the channel name here. You've just hit 500 subscribers. Oh, hello. You've got some, you got one, is that a YouTube short that's probably gone viral there with 175,000 views? Congratulations to you. Nice. Awesome. Nice work there, sir. And yeah, it looks as if you're doing a lot of content on gear for BMX bikes. So just keep that up. Congratulations to you. The next shout out is going to be done by Dan. And you are saying hello to...
Here we go. Sam the Shrubber. Obviously a military channel, 206 subscribers, but it looks like animation. I know animation's always tough, so keep at it. And congratulations and thank you for the donation.
Test of view counts. So animated cartoon thumbnails, but it looks like they're just playing video games, it seems like. But maybe that's a good way to get people to click in. Just check the audience retention as for the thumbnail value versus what's delivered, but the views seem to be very healthy for your channel, so awesome stuff there. And I am going to personally say hello to Octorius. He's a long time community member of vidIQ who has been really successful in his PS4 and PS5 content. I remember he did a short somewhere which got 1 million views. Here we go. Did you know these PS4 shortcuts? And it got 1.5 million views for him. So thank you very much for the donation, and you are always one of our biggest supporters in social media, Octorius, and one of the few who joins us for our gaming weekly live streams as well.
Congrats to Octorius as well. He killed his exams this week, so great job doing both your channel and exams. Way to keep it up, Octorius.
Crushing it. We know a little bit of personal stories there about Octorius. Travis, who's this chap?
Millie Black. Oh, hey, Millie. Looks like a lot of shorts here, which is cool. It's a great way to start. And looks like Millie's doing some cool content. Tripling down on the shorts is a good idea. A lot in the last 3 days. So just throwing lots of shorts.
Just go shorts crazy. I've got a video coming out on Monday about shorts, which you're going to find very interesting. Jeff, who's this person?
Your guy, Small Fry, 106 subscribers.
Channel name.
100%, man. Thank you for the donation and coming through. Looks like we've got a lot of shorts here. Looks like some Black Ops Cold War stuff going on. New setup for Cold War. I like that they're leaning into gaming content with the shorts. There's a lot of there's a lot of room to grow there. So look, 5.5K and 2.6K. So yeah, man, good stuff.
It is a marriage made in heaven right now, shorts and video gaming. Right, I'm just going to try and work out who I'm doing next. So it's EQ. Right, here's the next one. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone here, all the shout outs. Oh, you've sent us your channel, one of the videos. So I think it's this one. When Clelas, I think is your channel. Get busy living or get busy dying. Can we remember where that quote comes from? Anyone? Shawshank Redemption.
That's the one.
There we go. It's red. Yeah, it looks like you're a family channel, I think, here, and you've cracked 100 subscribers, which is brilliant. The community seems solid here. You're getting views close to subscribers, but there's also some car repair stuff in there as well. So I'm not sure if you have a strange bit of a pivot going on. You're trying to decide whether to cover your child growing up or how to fix cars. So maybe you want to pick a lane there. There's also something about shooting with a camera as well. So Wen Clelis, thank you for your submission. Now then, who is next? Let me see. So, Dan, you're deleting stuff, and I'm getting a bit confused.
Sorry, there. Go from the top.
Right, yeah. Understanding politics. You can say hello to this chap, Dan, if you can. Right, let me just fix them. There we go.
Yeah, understanding politics. 186 subscribers. Obviously, politics have been super huge over this year, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I mean, this seems international. I want to say that's the flag of Kazakhstan in a bunch of them. We see Romania, the USA. So kind of going all across the globe there, which, may be a good strategy, but maybe a bad strategy. You might want to focus on, one country going forward. But congratulations and thank you for the donation.
Unless you change your channel to Fun with Flags. I'll think about that. All right, Alexi, we have to say hello to this chap. Oh, I think we audited this channel very recently.
Yeah, shout out to Strange Land with 13.5K subscribers. Since you guys audited this channel recently, you can probably tell more about the content here.
It's like a crime and unsolved mysteries, and I think we were talking about, removing the logo, I think, was maybe something that we suggested, and a bigger image of the people. I mean, Travis, we might be interested in watching this one about Chris Benoit and what he did in wrestling. But yeah, well, look at this. 1 week ago, I think... Travis, we'll take credit for this. I'm sure we audited this channel before they posted this video, and it got 50,000 views.
Yeah, I mean, I think we told him to even do that video.
Exactly. We told him to do the bizarre case of Paris Lee Bennett, and look where it got you. So well done there, Strange Land podcast. Next one is Jeff's chance to say congratulations and thank you for the donation to...
Hey, Drifty13, he cracked 20 subs, 22 subscribers right now. Looks like we're doing some Fortnite stuff. Looks like some streams, got some long streams here. Definitely, man. But thank you for the donation and for coming through. And man, Fortnite, you may want to start looking at doing some of these shorts, man.
Travis, next up we have... Oh, hang on. I've already done that one. We can't do that one twice. Okay, let's say... T-Blossom.
T-Blossom. Hey, congratulations on 23 subscribers. Michael Jordan's number. And it looks like you have a Fortnite channel. So if you're into Fortnite, T-Blossom has some content for you.
Nice one there. All right. Next one we have is... hang on. Just stop choosing that one. Right, there we go. I think I got the right one this time. It is Sir Durple. And that's how I'm going to pronounce your name. You have been on YouTube for just 4 weeks and you already have over 25 subscribers. You have pitched your flag into the Atlantia game. It looks like a mod on Minecraft. And I think that you've got all of these foundations that are going nicely here. You're getting dozens of views. Your thumbnails aren't too complicated right now, although I think the contrast is a little low on some of these. You might want to brighten it up, and the Atlanta SMP text probably needs to be a bit brighter. And just think about episodes numbers. We've talked about that a lot. Dan's done some videos on that in the past. All right, next channel. Let's see if I've got it right. Okay. I'm just trying to work out which one we've done. Right, here we are. Next one is Jeff for you. Oh,
hey, I like it. Charisma Secret. Shout out to you. 3 subscribers, so maybe we're just getting started. Not sure how long they've been posting. Looks like about a week or
less.
Two. Yeah, somewhere right around there. So looks like we're getting there. Definitely stick with it. I like what they're doing. Like the top 3 thumbnails here. The part 1, part 2, part 3. Not sure about putting the parts in there, but I like the look of it. It's much cleaner and it's easier to read that text. So I like where he's going there. As you know, big shout out to them. Thank you for the donation.
And remember, these are all $10 channel shout-outs that we're doing right now. We've got about 5 more to do before we do some more channel audits. And so, Travis, who's this chap?
Looks like 7C Hungry Box. That's a mouthful right there. Looks like you got some first-person shooter action going on. Looking forward to seeing I think there's a new version of the Call of Duty that came out, the free Battle Royale that just came out. So might be a cool game to cover. Definitely congratulations and thank you so much for donating to the stream.
Look at these view counts for live streams.
It's kind of crazy, to be honest.
Tens of thousands. That's really
like, what's their channel size again?
10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's really...
Yeah, nice one.
Really crazy. Yeah, good deal.
Okay, next one, Alexi. We have who?
Cooking Conversations. 10 subscribers, but videos are doing really, really well, especially the last one. 150 views on a 10 subscriber video. Keep it up.
You're being honest, at least, with your boredom quarantine post. Yeah, well done there. Now, next one is going to be, I'm just making sure that I get all of these donations and shout-outs in. Crazy Dominoes, 2,000 subscribers. Look at those thumbnails. Those thumbnails make me want to click on them. It's just all about the hero of the content, which are the Dominoes. Awesome. Brilliant stuff. I mean, what are we all going to suggest here for this channel that's currently doing videos of over a minute, 2 minutes?
Shorts.
Yeah, you got to test some shorts here. You just need one of your shorts, Dominoes videos to go viral, and you're into the next level of YouTube. Congratulations on your channel there. Dan H, this person is...
Michael Dion, obviously a drumming channel, and we audited them in the past few weeks. So thank you for giving back as we've given to you as well. And thank you for the donation.
Awesome stuff there. Well done on 100 subscribers for you. And let's see, which channel is this? Okay, I'm just going to have to click. I can't remember if I've done this one yet. So we've just done that one. So this is the last channel shout out for now, but we'll probably have more in the future. And I'm going to let Jeff shout out this channel.
Hey, so we've got John and Zoe's family vlog here. Cracked 100 subscribers, so congratulations to you. But yeah, man, if you're looking for these family type vlogs, have we been hacked? You know, all the different kinds of stuff that's going on with families around Christmas time, you definitely want to check them out. So thank you for your donation.
So we've probably just shouted out there about 15 to 20 channels. So that's hundreds of dollars worth of donations there. Appreciated. Guys, how many tabs do you think I have up here now? I've nearly broken my computer.
Oh my gosh.
Right, let's go back. I need to try and find out now where we got up to. So we've done that channel. So this is the next channel we are auditing from the channel audit pile, and it is R2 Lite Gaming. Let's start with Alexi here first, because I think I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, Alexi, but I think you're probably the most proficient gaming channel expert here of all of us, since none of us really are gamers at all.
Well, I'm a retired gamer, so I guess I'm not as active anymore when it comes to shooting video games, because the younger generation has definitely the quicker reflexes. But yeah, it looks like it's a mix, right? Or maybe not. I can clearly see some of these things are Fortnite, but then we also have Black Ops Cold War. Again, my advice would be, if you want to get started in the gaming niche, and we've talked about this a million of times, but do a Black Ops loadouts, for example, something educational, right? Something to cook people in, unless of course you get like a killing streak, right, where you just solo win the whole map. You can make a shorts about it. Or if you've done some kind of like cool kill where you got revenge on someone else who was like bothering you the whole game, make a shorts out of it, see what happens. Now the success of that short will be decided probably by the title. So try to make it snappy, or try to use some of the jargon that is just typical for the Call of Duty, gaming niche, or if you want to do something Fortnite related, then Fortnite. But yeah, right now, looking at the thumbnails, I would say that probably the next piece of advice would be try to focus on one game, because I understand that there are some cross sections between Fortnite and Call of Duty. But I would probably say that, sticking to one game, especially the newer one, like the Call of Duty Cold War that came out recently, like that would be a possible winning strategy in the future.
And I would add, make sure that you're probably referencing the title of the game in the title, just to help YouTube with SEO a little bit as you're a new channel. For example, Newtown 1984 is so dope. What game is that for? I assume it's Call of Duty, but I could be wrong here. Another one here about Fortnite. I can tell from the thumbnail it's about Fortnite, but who is searching for sweatiest duo in pubs chokes the win? I can't even work out what that title means. But again, I think I'm a retired gamer as well. I'm certainly not dank. I'm not derp, and I'm not, what's the other word? Stonks in any of this stuff. So it's all a bit above me. Travis, Jeff, any final words from you two that you can think of?
Well, just to point out, I'll jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nuketown is a classic map for Call of Duty, and it was only released about a week or two after the new Cold War game came out. So that was something that was super trending for people searching for it, in that moment. So make sure that people are knowing exactly what it is. Make sure it's a clear thumbnail, because that's your perfect opportunity to really gain a lot of growth and to get a lot of eyeballs. We know the week that Nuketown was dropped for Cold War.
Well, you do, Dan.
What's that?
I say you do. I don't think any other of us do. But you raise a good point in that to just complement the thumbnail, you could include new map, ! And maybe the title of the game in the thumbnail if you're not going to include it in the title. That is AR2 Lit Gaming. We're going to move on now to the next one, that is Ferg HD Gaming. And so since Alexei has retired from video gaming, I'm going to let Jeff tackle this one if he plays any sort of video games.
Well, let's see. Ferg HD Gaming, as much as I like the Retrowave banner here, I think letting us know what games he's going to be talking about or kind of what's going on there would be more helpful than having his name appear twice when it's already right here. Mm-hmm. So let's take a look here. Doesn't exactly look... am I seeing what I'm seeing? Is he reacting to games?
I think he's playing horror style games.
Possibly, yeah.
Which, mind you, Crash Bandicoot's not a horror game, but it still has like a bit of a shocked reaction there.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on there. We're Freddy, so that might be what's going on. I'm just not 100% sure exactly what games or what he's playing. So it could be that he's doing a bunch of general different stuff. One of the things that I'll usually say is look at which ones are doing better for you. If it's this, this Seiko right here, or if it's Crash Bandicoot or whatever it might be, and maybe stick to that a little bit and see if that can work for you. Double down on what's working for your channel. I know we're not all one-faceted creatures, but niching down can definitely help you grow.
Any other thoughts for this channel?
Yeah, I might say that I think the niche for this channel, although a little bit general, is probably horror games. So all those Amnesia, Phasmophobia, and then Friday Night at Freddy's, like those are horror games. So again, should you maybe stick to one game for a while, see how the audience reacts to it, and then maybe go over to the next one? Or do you want to be a variety channel where every new video is a new horror video game? Like, that's up to you. My recommendation would be probably to test it out. Do a series of videos on one game, see how the audience responds to it, and if it picks up, just stick with it, right? Because variety channels, where you're like playing, let's say 5-6 different video games, even though they are from the same genre, it's pretty much the same thing as playing, I don't know, 5 different adventure games, at the same time. So like some people just can't keep up. So yeah, something to think about.
Thank you very much, Alexa, there. I'm just going to do a bit of cleanup here because I need to get rid of some of my tabs because I've got far too much going on here. So just bear with me. I just need to cross all of these off to make sure that we have audited the right channels and make sure that we still have the channels that we need to audit. So we haven't done that channel yet.
Yeah, we're rapidly approaching our goal too right now.
Yeah, we're at $73 right now. We're not just going to end the stream.
We've had a few questions come in. Should we jump to that while you do that?
Sure. If we've got those questions lined up, then let's do them.
Yeah, absolutely. Pastrulio, another one of our kind of active members who is in our Twitch streams as well, says he's just become a new manager for a channel called Striker the Cat, and he wants to know, should he roll into memberships right now that he's joining the crew and make that sort of his momentum taker, or should he wait for a milestone like 20,000 members before he institutes memberships?
How many subscribers does the channel have, I would ask, first of all. I don't think you want to launch channel memberships when you're too small, because you might be disappointed by the results. I think, Travis, you've got memberships on your channel. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. And I know they've rolled them out to smaller and smaller creators as time has gone on. And yeah, I mean, I think the hardest thing about memberships is it adds another thing that you have to do that you need to remember, because unfortunately YouTube doesn't even tell you when you get a new member.
Oh, really?
And at what level.
Wow.
That makes it really confusing. So I have a level where I give shout outs in videos and I never know. I have to keep checking, and I've missed it a couple times, and I feel bad about it, because I'm like, I almost want to remove that tier. Yeah. Because if YouTube isn't telling me that, hey, you got a new person that signed up and they want a shout out, like, I will miss it. So it's extra work. It's fun. I mean, it's cool to put out something that, you know, people can use the little the emojis and stuff, and that's cool or whatever. But yeah, it's extra work. Just consider that that's really what it is.
Remember, YouTube is free, but if you are asking for money from people, you then have a commitment. You have to deliver on what you're promising. As we're doing now, is we're going to make sure we audit every channel here, and it may just end up being me auditing the channels, given how many have been submitted. Any more questions there, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to point out, they're at 17,500 subscribers, so a decently sized channel. But yeah, those are things to keep in mind. It's going to be a lot of work. We do have one more question. BK42 channel. I'm considering a small change on my channel's name from BK42 channel to BK42 bikes. Do you think that's a good move? I don't have tons of subscribers, but I'm afraid of confusing them, and I would love to keep BK42, the beginning of that, but that's taken, so they have to add something to it.
I always wonder why somebody would include channel in their channel name, so I don't have an issue with changing it to bike, I think it was. And yes, I think there's probably a small myth that changing your channel name may impact your channel. I don't think it does. It's just a little bit of rebranding here. I think I changed my channel name from VGJ Felix to Video Gadgets Journal at the 10,000 mark, and I don't think it really had any impact. It was just part of me rebranding the channel. Jeff, Alexi, Travis, if you've got any more thoughts, please add them.
Yeah, I would say that, as long as assuming that if they're going to go to the bikes, as long as that's what their channel and content is about, then it makes perfect sense. That way we're not confusing things. But yeah, I don't see a problem with it at all.
All right, if that's the final question for now, and thank you for the donations as part of your questions, let's go back to the channel audits. And the next one we're looking at is, what on earth has happened there? Why did... Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong place. Bear with me. Jeremy's face just appeared there for some random reason. It's because I've gone to the wrong one. There we go. That should fix it. Right. What was it? That threw me completely off. Mad Dog Magima 7. This looks like a... Is there a video game called... Is it Yakuza? Yeah, I thought it was Yakuza. So you have a niche... with 374 subscribers. The view counts are very encouraging for me here. You're in the hundreds for most videos. Again, it's one of these channels where you are a gaming channel, but you're looking at something alternative and different to the common video games. And I always applaud people who are doing that. Thumbnail-wise, I think close-ups of characters seem to be working. Red text, I'm never a big fan of that. Maybe if you add a white stroke to it, that'll give it a bit more pop. For example, I think that text works a little better on the thumbnails. And then, yeah, let's just have a look at the titles. So some boss fights. I'm wondering maybe if you could retitle them a little bit, how to beat certain bosses in the game. Might give it a bit more searchability. But generally, I'm encouraged by this channel, especially the amount of content I've pushed out in the last 2 weeks. How old is the channel? They've been around for a while. Thoughts, please, from anyone else?
Let's see here. Well, it looks like they're starting to lean into shorts, at least from what I'm looking at. It's 47 seconds, 39 seconds. So I think that could be a really smart play. I think if anything, they could lean into it by even doing the how-to thing. Like, how to get started, or, how to beat this boss, or, here's this person's power moves, whatever it might be. But there's ways to really lean into it, because just like we said on multiple occasions, gaming and shorts go hand in hand. So this is something you can definitely take advantage of.
Some really interesting titles here. If Yakuza was an Indian soap opera, I guess that must be a comedy video, and it's done pretty well as a short. Jeff, Alexi, sorry, not Jeff, Travis, Dan, Alexi, any other thoughts, or should we move on?
Maybe we can move on.
All right.
I'll point out the new Yakuza has a lot of fun, sort of like crazy, interesting things, from like summons, from karaoke gameplay to attacking a giant Roomba. So there are a lot of crazy things that go on in that game. So I would just make sure you're sort of focusing on them in the thumbnails. That is a big draw for games like this, especially Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is the current version of it. So make sure you kind of play into that and some of the more fantastical things, because I think that's going to draw you a lot of eyeballs.
Dan, you are now our newly nominated gaming expert for the next channels that we look at. Pixel Des is one that we have here because reality bites. All right. What do we finish channels about? Because just looking at it from the value proposition suggests gaming, but then I'm getting a little lost by the thumbnails. Pumpkin Jack, is that the game? Is it an adventure game? Maybe?
Yeah, it definitely seems like this is a gaming channel. So now I'm apparently forced to jump in here and take a more prominent role.
Some retro stuff as well.
Yeah, I think, it's clearly not a super popular game since most of us haven't heard of it, but it's definitely sort of a seasonal game. So that is sort of a good idea that you've been pushing into it, but obviously not getting some of the results that you're expected. But this new game that you focused on, Dust, has more views than your last few. So maybe this is a time to pivot and make a bunch of Dust videos and focus on content in there, and maybe not so much gameplay. We've talked recently about not really naming and numbering your videos that way, because then you're probably just playing the game, maybe adding a little bit to the background. And that's more of a streaming thing. That's more of going live and playing with an already existing user base. What you want to do is focus on tips, focus on tricks, focus on tutorials. So maybe as you're pivoting to this new game, really focus on that and create a lot more value to your users, as opposed to just gameplay videos, which very clearly aren't working with the people who have subscribed so far.
You are spot on there, Dan. I think this channel has gone through the gameplay parts series a number of times for like 4 or 5 games here, and it's like you're kind of repeating the same thing with different games and maybe expecting something different to happen, and it doesn't seem to be. So as you say, try and make each video stand on its own 2 feet, removing these parts, because if I look at, for example, King Jack gameplay part 11, the final battle, is there enough there for me to watch it? Or like, am I going to have to watch the previous 10 parts? You could just retitle this, How to Beat the Final Boss in Pumpkin Jack, and that might be more searchable, but you could still have it as part of a gameplay series. It's just a different pitch to the audience to get them to click into it. Any other thoughts from others?
No, that sounds about right to me.
Right.
It would be easier as a searchable kind of thing than anything else.
Let's move on to the next channel then, which is Relaxed V6. Is this the 6th version of your channel? Okay, I'm going to have to just scroll past that language there. What do we have here? Any ideas? Is this another gaming channel of some description, but like different games?
Yeah,
it's a real mix.
Yeah. A little bit confused here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just don't want to scroll to the top. So the titles aren't really telling us what they are in some of these. There's a bit of VR gaming here that they did for a while. Like Your Name Explosion, I can't get anything from that in terms of, other than it looks like some anime clip.
Well, maybe that's good insight right there, right? There's 5 of us on the stream here. We've looked at your channel for over a minute, and we don't really know what to say about it. We don't know what you're going for. Obviously, we're not really anime, manga, meme kind of people in general, but we should at least be able to get sort of some semblance of what you're trying to do, what your motivation is, what your propositions are, and none of us seem to have that, even looking at scrolling down now, where it seems to be more gaming focused back in the day.
I mean, I think it does suffer a little bit from this channel in that they were playing a game, doing several parts, and then doing something else. This channel seems to be doing the same, where they play many different games, several parts. How much value are they offering to a potential audience? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that many right now, just from the view counts. And so some new strategies there, perhaps in terms of, as you say, educational content, sticking to a game with a bit more focus may be helpful for you. So that was Relaxed version 6. And the next channel we're going to look at here is 305 Rider with 1,500 subscribers. Travis, let's see what you think of this one.
Yeah, so it looks to be a motorcycle channel, perhaps. And yeah, I think now what I found for motorcycle channels, at least the ones that I've noticed, one of the popular things is first-person views, which you'll see a lot of motorcyclists with like GoPros on top of their helmets, and those tend to do pretty well. Or if you're talking about the actual bike itself, maybe how to tweak the engine to make it better, or reviews of different aspects of a motorcycle. But what I kind of have noticed is that you can't necessarily be a jack of all of those trades, because people are coming for one or one of those things, not so much everything. It looks like here we have some giveaways. There's a taco challenge. There's some tech related to motorcycles. There's a car. So it looks a little bit all over the place. If I'm a motorcycle enthusiast, I'm probably going to be more interested in a specific type of motorcycle, because just because you like motorcycles doesn't mean you like all types of motorcycles. There's like the Harley people, and you know what I mean? Like, that's very specific. So
it can get very tribal, can't it? With
it really can. So I think you just
vehicles.
need to really pay attention to what your niche is, and really figure out what the people who are going to watch that content want to see more of, and try to feed them that type of content.
Any general thoughts about the use of text on these thumbnails?
I think some of it's okay. It's a little small, but you could use it for this type of content to describe what's going on, especially if it's a ride somewhere. Like if you're doing first person ride, like I don't mind that so much. Or I even kind of like Biker Girls of SoFlo. Like that's kind of a cool thing. Like I'm okay with some of it. I just think you need to pay it. Like I say, for every type of thumbnail that you use text on, it just it needs to be contextual. Give me context between the title and the thumbnail, and then I'm okay with it.
I was just getting a sense when I look at the thumbnails in that the wording in the thumbnails almost takes a little bit. It takes too much of a thumbnail out. In that I'm drawn to the text, but I don't really pay attention to the imagery in some of these, because the contrast is maybe a bit too harsh. That might be a personal opinion on this.
Well, there's also some things that are like the one trip to the Prescott. I mean, the image itself is kind of fish-eyed, and there's nothing particularly interesting about the photo. So that's another kind of problem with a thumbnail like that.
Jeff, Alexi, anything else from you?
I would probably, I don't know if they've done it, but I would probably think about getting into some of the shorts, because I've seen motorcycle channels that do very well doing tips. Like if you ride and you own multiple bikes, then you're going to have learned some things over time. And I've seen a channel who is very niched into the type of bike that he's, working on and building and doing, where he gives 5 tips around oil changes as shorts, or 5 tips around maintenance as shorts. Like really, really niche stuff, but those videos do super, super well. So just something to think about.
All right, and nice one. That is 305 Rider. And we'll move on to the next channel, which is 2 Geeks Talking. You're approaching 400 subscribers. What geeky things are you talking about? Let's have a look here. So these interviews, and maybe clips from interviews. It looks as if you're speaking to people within the comic space in some of these.
I love the name of the channel. I'm just trying to see.
What's the about section?
I mean, obviously some type of podcast.
Yeah.
Entertainment personalities in an honest and thought-provoking show called 2 Geeks Talking. Web comics. Okay. So maybe that's what it is. Yeah. I mean, so contextually, I love the name of the channel. It's going to be easy to remember. Obviously, if I knew who these people were, I might be, a little bit more intrigued by it. But I'm also wondering why, you have one that's a month old with no views. So that implies that there's not a lot of interest in that particular, interview.
I think this is something that a lot of podcast style interview channels struggle with a little bit. Why do you subscribe, for example, to Joe Rogan? And I think the answer is you don't subscribe to Joe Rogan for the guests. You subscribe
Conspiracy
to Joe
theories?
Rogan for conspiracy theories and maybe the personality of Joe himself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as with many creators, not many people care about the two geeks themselves right now at this point. And then by extension, they're not necessarily interested in like the guests that they have on. This feels as if there needs to be a stronger connection between the two. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong on this. I think it's a real challenge in this sense of trying to both be a strength of your channel is you yourself, but then also the topics. And because you're talking to different people all of the time, you almost have that same challenge of in a gaming channel where you're covering many different games, you're covering many different interviews from people in. And yeah, what is geeks? Does geeks mean comics, sci-fi? Geeks is like an all-encompassing topic to begin with.
Yeah, for me, I actually also have a podcast YouTube channel, but we stream our podcast live on it. So really what we're trying to get are the people during the live stream. Afterwards, we're not as worried about the views. And I think the thing is, mainly because of the way live streams and really long form content seem to perform on YouTube. YouTube tells us it's all about watch time, but the reality is if you put an hour-long video up, you would think, oh, it's lots of watch time, so why doesn't it do really well? They just generally don't. But what would do well is if you take the best parts of these things with something with a really kind of maybe not salacious, but totally grabby title, and put that into like a 5-minute video that's kind of a more encompassing of what's going on, so that you're getting to the good parts and the retention stays good and YouTube goes, okay, this is good. And then of course, if you want to, you can link to the full interview, but I wonder if you would get better performing videos if they were actually just really tightly edited versions of the best parts of these interviews.
They've done that on a rare occasion here. I think Travis is one here which is 6 minutes, one here which is 40 minutes, and I think that's one of the better performing videos here. And I guess just thinking more broadly, is our podcasts a good place? Is YouTube a good place for podcasts? Like, as a broader, wider question. Like,
so here's what it is good for.
All right, go ahead.
I've leveraged it for this. There's really no good way, although Apple's starting to change this, to discover a podcast. There's a bunch of different, there's no algorithm for podcasts. So the way we use it is we use it as another place for people to find us, because YouTube will naturally find at least a couple of people every single stream to bring people into the audio podcast. So it's more of we're not putting all of our eggs in the YouTube basket hoping that becomes the big thing. It's actually helping our audio podcast listenership go up, which has been very successful. So if you look at it in that perspective as just another traffic source, I think it's good. If you're putting too much into it, then maybe not so much.
All right then, so that is the two geeks talking there. Thank you for your donation. And I think I would do a drum roll. Oh, well, maybe I'll do one. Just let me clean up here. I'm going to do a drum roll because we've hit our target of $1,000. You have donated $1,019.85. So just before we carry on, thank you everybody for contributing. All of this going to the Thankmas drive here. So we really do appreciate it. And it's good to know that we have a community that is very generous and willing to give Thankmas some of your money, certainly in what has been a challenging time. Right, the next channel we're going to look at is Liz Zorab Biver Farm. I think I pronounced your name horribly there. I do apologize. But you don't need to care about that because you already have 65,000 subscribers, which is fantastic to see. Alexi, are you still here? Let me just say, I'm seeing some chat here. If you want to go ahead on this one.
For this one, I'm still here. So, looks like it's right now it's more of a vlog, I guess, rather than a particular niche. It probably started with something related to gardening and, again, plants related. But then I see... it's a typical trajectory for a channel that started in a niche to then kind of focus more on a day-to-day thing or just live chat type of stuff and interacting with the subscriber base. So in this case, Rob, could you just filter by most viewed to see what's the best performing video is for this channel?
I certainly can, yeah.
And there we go. So it clearly, I'm not surprised. It's a how-to video. It's focused on flowers. Again, as the channel kind of already indicated, how to grow roses, what to sow in July,
I was going to
rose
say
plants. So yeah,
that's what the channel is. It's a what to sow channel. I think that is the ones that bring in the big views all the time.
There you have highlighted pretty much everything. So yeah, I would say that if you want to grow a little bit more, I mean, there is
Nice
always
pun.
room to grow more, right?
Nice.
Probably keep doing what you're already doing. I mean, I guess it's not new information to you, but since the most recent videos weren't necessarily. But then again, you might say, you know what? Right now it's winter. There is nothing to sow, so that might be a valid point. Maybe you are at a point right now where you just need some kind of content to keep your community engaged. So, but I think this creator in particular, they just found a niche that's close to the heart. It's working for them. Just do more stuff of that nature. Find something for winter month to transition into, and yeah, you're golden.
Now, Alexa, did you say you needed to drop off now? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think everyone, thank you for all your donations. We cracked the goal. For me, it's pretty late because you guys are in the United States. I'm in Europe.
What time is it there, Alexi?
For me, it's 9. I still have to have dinner. So, thank you, everyone, and have a good one.
Thanks for your time there. Thanks, Alexi. See you later. So what to sow? I mean, whenever I often sometimes I talk about these channels that just get fixated on like almost a keyword phrase in a title, and they utterly dominate that on YouTube. Like, dare I put in a search here for what to sow? And if I do that, does this channel sort of rank highly? Perhaps all of the time? Well, you're third there in the list. You're fourth. I think maybe what to sow is a nice little keyword that you could basically rank for the top 20 if you wanted to go down that route. Maybe doing the next 10 videos that are what to sow. I know it feels a bit silly to do that, but YouTube, once it locks you down as a keyword ambassador, you can just live off that in an incredible way. Are you maybe being a slave to a search discovery algorithm there? Perhaps a little bit, but there you are. Any thoughts, Jeff and Travis?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Some people worry about doing the same thing over and over and over again, but the reality is the vast majority of your video views do not come from subscribers. So they have
exactly. Great point.
Yeah. YouTube knows, what we want to watch as viewers, and once it figures out that you are serving a good video topic for that specific keyword and knows exactly who to send that to, and you can dominate for that.
Awesome. We've got a super sticker. I thought I disabled this, but Mika Let's Play has given us $10. Thank you, Mika. But please don't anyone else do that, because that won't go to the donations. That'll go to vidIQ's channel. So thank you for that. But yeah, just to stress, don't do that again, because we want the donations to go to Thankmas. Right, next channel then. Let me just check. Jeff and Travis, how much longer do you have?
I have 10 minutes or so.
And Jeff?
I have enough time. We
have 3 savage audits.
Careful what you say. Oh, we've got 3 savage audits.
We need to get to that.
Right, we need to do the savage audits right now then. Careful what you say, Jeff, because I might have you on the line for another 5 hours at this rate. Thanks to all of these awesome donations. Right. So savage audits. So we've got 3 of them. So Savage, can I bring you back into the room here? And let's start with DeWitt 3D. I guess you've got about 3 minutes on each. Savage,
oh my gosh, DeWitt. I knew a guy named DeWitt. He was on The Office, I think is what it was. Yeah. And he was in 3D as well. Listen, DeWitt, can I just say something to you? I see you have creativity. What are these all live streams? What's going on here? Oh, it is. Look, a lot of people watching.
Well, one short as well.
So he either wants to be on there for a very long time or a very short time. He doesn't like anything in the middle, and I kind of respect that. You either get the foot-long sandwich or the 6-inch sandwich. You don't hear no 8-inch sandwiches out there. You don't go to Subway and say, "No, I want something right in the middle. Give me an 8-inch sandwich." No one does that. Rob, do you do that? Do you try to do that? Do you try to?
It's making me hungry.
I'm telling you. Listen, it's 12:30 here. I haven't eaten, so yes, of course I'm hungry. Okay, back to DeWitt. All right, DeWitt. DWID. Does that stand for something? I'm curious.
Trivia about section.
Why not? I have 3D printing and 3D modeling as I learn as I go. Encouraged out of my comfort zone. All right. And where is he at? He's in Alberta, Canada. Look at this, a Canadian. I love it. You know what I heard about Canadians? They have to be nice. like it's the law.
That is true.
I'm pretty sure like you're not allowed to be mean. I've never seen a really mad Canadian before.
Well,
I have a feeling that if I did, I would think something's wrong.
I can personally test this. When you get to a crosswalk and there's a car and a pedestrian and a car on the other side, you're there for 5 hours waiting for somebody to because after you, and so it continues. I've been stuck at roundabouts for weekends.
I feel like DeWitt 3D would be a nice guy. Like you would. Matter of fact, I feel like if we're at Subway, right, and he's either going to get the 6 inch foot long. He's going to let you go in front of him. He's that guy. It's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I got plenty of time. Go ahead in front of me. You're like, oh, thank you very much. And then you're the butthead that goes in there and orders 27 sandwiches right in front of him. And now he's got to wait out. That's terrible. He's the nice guy that goes through all the crazy crap. Listen to it. I'm going to respect you, and I'm going to give you the big salute for being a nice guy while these guys can give you some actual help with your channel. I just want to thank you for for letting me through next time I see you at Subway, because I'm in a hurry.
He may even 3D print you a Subway.
That would be smart. I need some more glasses. If you want to 3D print me some glasses, I appreciate that.
All right. We'll leave that channel up for later if we can get back to it with a more serious audit. But Savage's time is very limited.
Yes, so I got places to be. Shining through NK. All right, Shining. What's NK? Is that a place? What's going on? What does it say?
Is our first North Korean channel ever?
Oh yeah, actually, I have a lot of North Korean friends.
Another Canadian channel here.
Name-based lifestyle vlogger and YouTube newbie. All right, you're a mega fan of great music. I don't see my name in there shining through NK. I don't see you're a great fan of the Savage Man, Dr. Savage. I am SoSavage.com. Take me to my YouTube channel. All right, so let's take a look. 20 free Canva. I use Canva for my thumbnails, my fantastical thumbnails that are on my YouTube channel. Yeah. Best video editing apps. Christmas music. I don't know what this channel's about. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at it and I really don't know. It feels very Christmassy. It feels like I can go over. I bet you if I went to Shining with NK's house, it'd be very Christmassy inside that house. You know what I did the other day? This is a true story. You know gingerbread houses? You know how they make gingerbread houses?
Yes.
I made one out of Pop-Tarts the other day and cake batter mix, cake frosting. Yeah. I'll tell you, I got diabetes now. It's a terrible thing. You got to buy so many Pop-Tarts. And then, you can't throw them away. You just got to eat them. I feel, NK, do you got a lot of Pop-Tarts in your house? So I'm going to drop on by. But let these kind gentlemen later on help you out with your YouTube channel. I just want to tell you,
we'll leave that one up as well. We'll leave that one up as well. So here we go. I think this is the final Savage channel.
It's Zen. I wanted you to know I'm taking over Zenzarius.
Nicely done.
This is how you get on my good side. Zenzarius, I've taken over the channel, and I can appreciate you, my friend. This is how you do it. This is how success is bred. This is how you start and succeed in life. Zenzarius, I salute you. You one day, if you really wanted to be, and I would not suggest it, could be the president. You also could be the president of Subway. I don't know. Whatever you want, you can have it all. As a matter of fact, my friend, I feel so good about this channel. I'm going to give it the confetti of joy that I normally don't even have access to.
I'll try that.
Savage confetti of joy.
It's not working. Oh, well.
Oh. Well, we owe you a confetti of joy.
We do.
Zenzarius, let me sing the praises of Zenzarius and tell you that this is literally how you succeed in life. Zenzarius.
Yeah. 669. I've just been watching the Matrix trilogy, and I don't know why this reminds me of Agent Smith and how he's like slowly works his way through the Matrix and copies himself. I'm wondering if like at the end of 2021, we'll just go to like when we're auditing YouTube channels, we'll just see this on all of the channels.
It really should be this way.
Popping up everywhere.
I feel like here's what should happen. All channels should do this. All the YouTube. I feel like a Savage takeover is something that's going to breed success. Then they're going to give you some more channel audit information later on. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I'm just going to tell you the only thing you need to hear, which is you're doing a good job.
YouTube Shorts, Zenzarius, you're testing and you've had a successful one, so that is good to see. All right, Savage, thank you very much for your time. I'll tell you what, if you do have like a few minutes left,
yes.
Can you do the shout outs for the following people?
Sure.
All right, so I'm just going to start loading up some channels.
Why not?
Please do shout them out. For the next 3 minutes, Savage is shouting out these channels.
All right, it's franchise gaming. If you got a game and you need to make a franchise out of it,
Welcome
franchise gaming
to
got the type of content
2020.
you want, and
COVID-19
he won't steal
is-
your sandwich during lunch. Who else?
All right, thank you, franchise. So that was a $10 channel shout out, a special one from Savage here. Next up, we have
Shay-Z VR. Let me tell you about Shay-Z VR. Shay-Z VR is like that person across the street that mows their lawn at 3 a.m. Why? And then in the middle of the day they play VR. But so here's the thing: if you're into VR and people that mow their lawn at 3 a.m., go ahead and check out Shay-Z VR here on YouTube.
I've never heard that before. The person who mows their lawn at 3 a.m. in the morning. Very good, very good. Next we have
We got Moby's Kitchen and Lifestyle. Now, my lifestyle always happens in the kitchen.
yeah.
I want you to know that if you have any questions about Moby's Kitchen or his lifestyle, he's got a whole YouTube channel set up just about it. So if you ever wanted to search, what does Moby do in his lifestyle? And what kind of kitchen does he have? Or she? I don't know. Maybe it's a he or she. It doesn't matter. You can look it up on YouTube and watch it. Matter of fact, live streams looks like almost every single week. Moby got you covered.
All right, 2 minutes left here of Savage channel shout outs.
Ploppy 54, in case the other 53 Ploppies weren't enough. There's a 54th version of it. And Ploppy does a lot of things. Like, I love Mass Effect, so he's taking care of some Mass Effect information. I love Mass Effect, so I might even go ahead and check this channel out.
Mass
Ploppy.
Effect is doing really well, actually, there. I've just noticed. So.
And here's the
that's
thing, Ploppy
niche.
going to get 100 subscribers here real soon, probably right after this shout out, I'm sure. That's going to be a thing.
I agree.
And so if you have interest in Mass Effect stuff, go over to check out Ploppy before he becomes 55.
Nice. Floppy 55 coming soon. Next up we
Johnny
have
B, in case Johnny A was not enough for you, Johnny B is here with his red car. If you like red cars, then Johnny B got you covered. Johnny B, 1,607 people, loves his cars. He used to have a white car and a yellow car, but now he has a red one. And if you like that red car, why don't you go ahead and check out Johnny B. Johnny B got you covered for all of your red car needs.
I think it's an interesting point here, just going back to the Rider 305 channel, where this channel is focusing on like the Nissan 350Z, and it seems to have a quite consistent audience with that. That's something to consider there for the other channel that was watching. And so that was Johnny.
It's the red
B.
car, that's all I know. That's
The red
one thing
car,
I know
yeah.
about it. What else we got for shout outs? Ray Baby. I like that. we should do these shout outs on a regular live show. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Ray Baby got Pandora. Now, Pandora is not I know everyone's thinking this is just another music channel. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is the high-end stuff that no one can afford. Pandora jewelry. You know, people be opening the box on YouTube and then they just return it. You know they ain't affording this stuff. Ain't no one got no money for this Pandora's box. By the way, I think Pandora's box, when you open it, it's supposed to be bad, but I don't know. Anyway, this is a great channel for you if you're into Pandora's box. What's the name of the channel again, real quick? Ray Baby.
Yeah, very healthy channel numbers there as well for each video. Nice.
That's because no one can afford it. They just want to watch other people with the Pandora stuff. That's what it is. Ray.
That is true. Okay, I think this is the very last Savage channel shout out we've got time for
Savage shout
here.
G 24-hour gaming. Listen, he is up 24 hours playing Cyberpunk.
No time to mow his lawn at 3 a.m. in the morning.
No, not at all. Among Us best timing betrayals. He's got, listen, if you just like video games in general and you're not really looking for anything very specific, I'll tell you, this channel got you covered. It doesn't matter if you like Pokemon or if you like Dragon Ball Z or listen, he don't care, so you shouldn't either. Make sure you check out G24 Gaming here on YouTube. He's here. He got you covered.
All right, Savage. I think you had 6 Savage audits, Sev.
That's a lot of money.
$39.95. So that is what? Quick maths. At least $150 contributed to.
I mean,
the
that's like
total.
15% of this entire stream.
It is. It is.
So I'll be expecting my checks in the mail very soon. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you'll expect them at some point. Never. Thank you, Savage. Always a pleasure. See you on Tuesday.
Make sure you give those people who paid the $39 for their real audits, because I know they're scared right now. They're like, oh, I didn't know that's what I paid for. Don't worry about it. You'll get your regular audit as well. I gave you real life advice, and I know you hating on it, but that's okay. Listen, you're going to get your other advice. It's okay.
I do have them listed there. We've got to go through some more shout outs then. I'm just going to make sure I get the right one.
I mean, to be honest, you could probably charge $20 for a Savage shout out at this point. I think everyone loves the shout out. I'm just throwing it out there. But listen, I gotta go. Maybe we'll do that for the regular live stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a contest.
Maybe we will. See you later, Savage.
All right,
I'm going to shout out Cobalt12. This is another channel shout out, and you look to be a Minecraft channel. with some interesting, simplistic video thumbnails there and some nice views. Looks as if you're going into the short space, as many others have, and finding some success. I'll tell you, Minecraft and shorts is a marriage made in heaven right now, so continue to capitalize on that as much as you can. We're down to 3 here now, folks, with Dan, Jeff, and myself. So I think, Jeff, you had a bit of a vocal rest here, so if you can do the shout out for the next person. I'm just trying to make sure I pick the right one. I may have just loaded up the same channel yet, but that's okay. It means I know where I am in the list. So here we have this chap.
Hey, so it is Patrick Stewart. Maybe not that Patrick Stewart, but Patrick Stewart at 260 subscribers. So shout out 100%. Thank you for the donation and coming through here and helping out the charity. So 100% appreciate what you're doing here, man.
Our number 1 fan. Oh, no, that's Commander Riker. I didn't get the right reference. Right. Dan H. Who's this person?
There we go. Ginger Snap Gaming. 2,190 subscribers. Not red hair and ginger like our own Rob Wilson, it doesn't look like, but actual ginger snap cookies. But thank you for the donation and keep up the great work.
Awesome there. The next channel we're doing a shout out for is, I'm now on the wrong screen, so I'm going to have to drag that in. Right, that should work. Come on. Oh, my screen broke. There we go. The Golden Labradors. Oh, very nice. A dog channel. I am a big fan of dogs, of course, with Jasper. And you have just cracked 50 subscribers. And yeah, with a dog channel and potentially doing some YouTube shorts, hopefully you'll get some big boosts there. And you haven't been on YouTube that long either, 2 months, and you've already got 50 subscribers. Have you got any views over 100 yet? No, approaching it. And so we wish you the best of luck going forward with your doggy adventures. And now, where am I? So which channel was that? That was LW. Okay, I think we've got 2 more shout outs to do. Oh, hello.
Hey, shout out to the monkey.
Shout out to the monkey. Is that broke? Oh, they're giving us the wrong channel URL, whoever that was. That's unfortunate. But thank you for the donation. Dan, maybe you just want to check. It's the second to last shout out. Maybe just check the link is right there, and we can come back to that one if we can.
Yeah, could have been my fault there.
And Mr. Ken wins with your amazing channel banner. Even though it is a $10 donation, it still gives me chills. A generic channel banner. But yeah, thank you for the donation. What type of channel are you? I don't know. Are you a vlogging channel right now? Looks to be a vlogging channel a little bit. Maybe a bit more channel focus to let us know what your channel's about would really help us. So autumn in Texas, going to a graveyard, lots of different things going on. I'd like, as somebody subscribing to your channel, I probably want to know a little bit more about you, Mr. Ken Wins. And then, Dan, is that now the corrected link, do you think?
Yes, I fixed it.
It is. All right. So thank you, Dan, for the corrected link. And it is Hyper Spider 7. Nice channel name. From the channel banner, it looks like you're a tank channel. So is it, what's the game called?
World of Tanks, maybe?
World of Tanks, that's the one. I assume it's a World of Tanks channel. But you've also got some random stuff going on here a little bit. But yeah, some tanky stuff as well. Oh, a Mario Kart. Can you imagine a Mario Kart game versus tanks? World of Mario Kart tanks. That's what we want to see next. Thank you for your $10 submission. Right, we got through a hell of a lot there. So I just need to make sure that I am taking off the channels that I need to take off, who were the submissions. Then I need to go back to this list to make sure that we audit the right channels. Twisted Manifest, I don't think we audited that channel. You probably saw your channel appear very briefly, like half an hour ago before we went on a different direction. But we'll audit the channel now. And yeah, go on then, Dan. I think this is another gaming channel. Let's see your first thoughts on this one.
Yeah, it looks like Elite Dangerous, which I think is like a sniperish kind of game. Kind of, I know they came out with a sort of spooky Halloween one, but I mean, I think we need some thumbnail work on this one, right?
I agree.
That purple text there is really kind of blending in with the backgrounds. We're very monotone, but also we can't really tell what's going on, especially in those newer ones. Like, there's a giveaway there, which is always a great opportunity for viewers, but maybe spotlight what you're giving away, or something a little bit more vibrant within this game to really bring out the focus of it. And again, we talk about not necessarily including logos. Say that again.
Which one was the giveaway?
That very first one.
I see.
Dangerous
Okay,
with
yeah.
voice
Okay,
attack
right,
giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So again, giveaway isn't even till the 7th or 8th word of the title. So, we're not seeing that really. It's blended into the gold sun there and a gold text. So really think about your contrast. Think about using some more vibrant colors against this background, and think about not necessarily including that Elite Dangerous logo / text in every single video. If people are coming back to your channel for Elite Dangerous content, you have it in your title there. Maybe save that space for something a little bit more specific.
I will just add a word of caution with giveaways. Giveaways should be designed to give something back to your existing community, not necessarily to gain views and subs, because YouTube are actually strict against what's the phrasing, manipulating metrics. So like if you say if you subscribe to my channel, then you're entered into the giveaway. You're not technically allowed to do that. So it should be something that you're celebrating with your existing audience. The two things I noticed here, Dan, were there's 2 videos here which have a couple of thousand views versus everything else which is a lot less. So I'm wondering what happened there. Did it pick up on some particular thing that was going on in the game? And they both look to be how-tos of some kind. I would definitely revisit them and try and work out from the traffic sources. Maybe it was a click-through rate, audience retention, or it was ranking highly in search. Doubling down on the concepts that you did in those 2 videos. And I think Dan Silence means he agrees. So we'll move on to the next channel.
Tracking more donations.
Yeah, we're still getting them here. We're now to $1,057. So we're continuing to break through our goal. Jeff, Hoosier State Fishing. Surely they've hit 750 subscribers, but let's refresh. I reckon they've hit 750 subscribers since I loaded up the channel. Someone get him to 750 subscribers if you're going to watch their content. What are we looking at here, other than an obvious fishing channel?
I was gonna say, well, we're looking at a fishing channel here.
Yeah,
Bob.
it looks that way.
But looks like he's doing pretty good. Looks like he's actually leaning into shorts quite heavily, or at least over the past couple of weeks. The last 4 videos that I'm seeing, 23, 21, 57, 32. So, and doing pretty good. I mean, if you look at the Perfect Fish release, 561, but that smallmouth, 5.9 thousand views. So stuff like this is, there are possibilities here for what people might be looking for. And he's making full-blown thumbnails for all of these. Which,
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Look at this as well. I think they're doing something a little funky here, whereby they've got pre-made facial expressions, and then they're taking off the head, because the head there looks far bigger than the body.
Yeah.
So
it's a little off center, I think.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that's a wrong thing. I think for you to get that expression and emotion, it kind of does what it's intended, and I think that's a good idea. Actually,
I've seen people do this before. Well, they'll take their head and they'll blow it up, or they'll blow their eyes up, or whatever it might be. But if you have a certain facial expression, it makes sense, because if you didn't zoom in close enough to the shot, then maybe you can just zoom in your head. But I see what you're saying, though, because you see it on Giants Every Cast, or a Holy S, or stuff like this, where you can see that they did that, and I think it works. Yeah,
it works. That's the important thing, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you can do it and it just looks wrong and stupid. Here, it just looks like quirky and interesting, and maybe encouraging the click. The text, I think, is used well in it. It's big, it's far, it doesn't contrast too much. I think sometimes almost the colours are perhaps, I don't know if they're too saturated, or maybe there's perhaps a slightly dominant colour in some of these. I was thinking a little bit. But I mean, the thumbnails are a very high standard. My one question to you as a creator would be, why the big pause here, where you took a good chunk of a break and now you're back into it, but you're only doing YouTube Shorts right now. Is that all you have time for? I think it's great that you can build views and maybe build a bit of an audience, but we're still not sure what the end result of Shorts is going to be. Can you turn all of this into long form content? And that is continuing to be a challenge. But if that's all you have time to do, I think that's great. What I would be a little worried about is that you're making these shorts and you're spending an incredible amount of time probably on these thumbnails. These look as if they're thumbnails that take maybe half an hour to an hour to make. I'm wondering if it would be better served by making a longer form video, perhaps. But I don't know. There's the question there of shorts and long form content.
Yeah. No, I agree. Some of these thumbnails look like they're taking a lot of time, and maybe that's all they have time for right now. But yeah. I hear you.
Next, I mean, just as an example, this one here, how many views on this one came from actual the YouTube player? So, like, how many people saw this thumbnail versus how many saw it as a... Because you don't see that thumbnail as a YouTube short. You just see, like, a random freeze frame from the video. All right, let's move on. The next channel is The Real Deal, Your Real Estate Answers. Okay. Anyone have any real estate experience here?
Not me personally.
I have none.
Yeah. But well, one thing I could point out that I really like is that they took the color of their channel banner and added as a stroke to bring their thumbnails together. I like that idea.
Yeah. So a lot of good effort being put into the thumbnails recently here. The YouTuber expression pointing at an object to kind of illustrate what they might be talking about. It's a very traditional look, but I think it's a good way to start your... mind you, all of these thumbnails are pretty good. For somebody who's been on YouTube for 4 months and has made 20, 25 videos, your focus has been thumbnails, which is very good to see. Yeah.
That's 100% what I like to see, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, the view count's okay, but it looks like it's a relatively new channel. But yeah, I mean, the thumbnails are very strong, so that's something I would definitely be looking at. Looks like, I'm not sure how consistent they're being. I don't know if this is like weekly content or bi-weekly.
Looks about once a week.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Something around there.
What I also like about the channel is that I think, especially with real estate agents, there can be that falling into that trap of doing local content, like the things to consider in this county or this state or whatever, and it feels like you're giving general real estate advice that would be helpful for anybody, say, in the North American market. And I think that's a really good strategy. You can then maybe start to talk about your own personal services and skills in the video description or like at the end of a video, that type of thing. But yeah, your YouTube audience here is potentially tens of millions who are interested in real estate on YouTube, and I see that you've done that. The one thing I will suggest to you is, who is this person called? I'm trying to remember. It's a real estate whisperer.
Yeah.
Is that the name of a channel? I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about. I think you're talking about Christina.
Yeah. So I think she was a similar channel to you like 3-4 years ago when she was still trying to find her way in this real estate YouTube environment. And I think she took one of Adara Lee's Jumpstart courses, and she just learned so much from it. So I'm not saying go and steal all of her ideas, but maybe look at your channel, look at her channel as a successful real estate channel, and see what she's doing, what she's delivering in terms of titles, the value, that type of thing. And also maybe, I mean, don't get me wrong, your thumbnails are already of a pretty good standard, but these are kind of working in the real estate area, these like versus ones and arrows pointing to things and that type of stuff.
Yeah, this is something where you want to lean into the competitor's tool of vidIQ, add a channel like Christina Smallhorn's, not only for topic generation, but title structures, things of that nature, and what's working and what isn't from a successful channel standpoint in this niche.
It's just sort by most popular is one that's jumped out a bit. So maybe mortgage loans could be something that you have a bit of a strong point in. That could be, every one in every 5 videos could be going back to this idea of a mortgage and a loan thing for real estates. But nice start to your channel. We wish you good luck going forward. Right then, so I think that was all of the channels that I loaded up before we started the stream, Dan, as far as I can remember.
I think we just need to go back to the ones that we had to
the savage audits.
The savage ones,
right.
Yeah.
So let me just
There's
check.
a few more in Slack, and we have a few questions if we want to jump to those as well.
Let's just sort of the tabs. So these were all channel shout outs. I remember them. So I'm just going to cross all of these off. Again, thank you for your donations. We really appreciate it. Drifty13, I loaded up several times. So I don't... Oh, no, that was a shout out.
That was a shout out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a shout out. So was this one. That was a shout out, but I'd love to audit that channel just because it's a really interesting one. But I think it was DeWitt. This was the first Savage submission. So let's just revisit this channel a little bit. Hopefully, DeWitt, you're still here. So I think you're a 3D printing channel, but what I see mostly is you. So my question to you would be, who is the hero of the channel? Is it you, the personality, or is it the items that you're 3D printing. And if I was searching for 3D printing stuff, it would be the machinery I want to see, or the machinery in action printing something, not necessarily yourself. And I don't mean that in a harsh, critical way. I just think the hero of your content is what you're talking about, not necessarily you. It's almost as if you may be taking that advice of the YouTuber face and things, but sometimes that doesn't always work for all types of niches.
Yeah, that's the thing where thumbnail research comes into play here. And, you know, we do with our thumbnail comparison tool, when you look up a specific keyword that you're looking for, it's something that you can search and find and see what the top ranking keywords for this niche are. And every niche has their own thumbnails that get clicks from their audience. Some have faces, some don't. So this is where that comes in really handy. And from what I'm seeing, with the exception of Linus's huge face there, is mostly it's about the actual product.
Yeah, it seems to be. So that would be our general suggestion there in terms of the thumbnails. Let's see. View counts don't seem to be too bad, especially for live streams. The fact that we're getting 100 views on a live stream is encouraging to see. And then I think this is a good example of who is this video for? Because I have no clue, even if I was a 3D enthusiast. Lesson learned about what? About life? About maybe the subway that you ordered going back to Savage? Or like a 3D printing mistake? There's too much of a leap there for me to get from what you're pitching here on the thumbnail to what's inside the content. To think more a little bit like for those types of videos.
One thing that might be a little bit interesting too is we look, a lot of these say streamed, but some of them are, a lot shorter than you'd expect from live streams. So is he streaming for 5 minutes? Is that a very quick 3D print build? You may want to think about, maybe focusing your content a little bit, showing that completed item at the beginning, showing a quick time lapse. But I don't know what you're getting out of a sort of 5-minute stream, especially when 3D printing tends to take a long time. And then transversely, if you're streaming just your 3D printer going back and forth and slowly printing an object, obviously we're not watching these videos, but I don't know how much value that is going to provide even to people who are big fans of 3D printing. Well,
do you think speeding up let's have a look at this one, for example, 3.5 hour 3D print into a less than 60-second short, I'm wondering if that has some satisfying connotations to it. You'd have to maybe do some research into this. Like, how interesting is it to look at a 3D printer create something from scratch in a very fast amount of time? Possible options there. DWIT 3D there. Let's move on to the next channel then. Savage, but we're going to now try and unsavage. Shining Through NK. I think Savage was right in that you're currently doing a lot of Christmas stuff. Is this a channel where you're kind of offering creative solutions like a suggested Christmas playlist or Canva templates? That's the general idea I was getting here.
Yeah,
all right, so some copyright-free music as well.
Yeah, I think channel focus is definitely going to be a big thing here. As you see, some of those thumbnails have her face in it. It's NK stands for Nkechi. That's what she had put in the chat. So I think those are really good thumbnails there. And I think 3,500 views, 4,000 views on some of those videos. So I think this, especially from the title, it sounds like it's going to be a personality channel. And then maybe you've switched it up for the Christmas season and you're trying to be a bit on trend with stuff like that. But again, if it's going to be a top 5 Christmas albums, keep your face on there. People seem to be coming back to those videos, and make sure you're giving that personality to it. Make sure you're making sure that people who see this thumbnail are seeing, hey, this is my top 5 albums. These are my favorite things. And some of this, no copyright Christmas music stuff, I'm not sure that really fits into it.
It's as if you'd kind of almost figured out your channel, like with this kind of vloggy stuff and weight loss stuff, and then interesting facts about the Old and New Testament, so a bit of Bible talk there, doing well. And then all of a sudden, top 10 Korean dramas for beginners. It's like, what? That is, I feel as if all of this stuff from here onwards should be a completely different channel. I don't wish to this is going to sound weird, but it almost feels as if someone hacked your channel and started putting on completely random. I mean, am I wrong here?
Yeah, it's a left turn for sure.
A complete pivot turn here. So why did you stop doing all of these things about you and like maybe your journey, certainly through faith and weight loss, to then free Christmas playlists and whatnot?
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, there's nothing. So, no harm, no foul if you want to do a content pivot on your channel, but it can be difficult when you do that, especially when you go totally left from what you were already doing. So you've built up a certain amount of viewership around a certain kind of content, and then when you totally shift it, now you're going to confuse your audience, and you're also going to confuse the algorithm because it knows your channel for certain keywords and it knows who to push that content to. And if you're all this time have been talking about, let's say you were doing cooking and then suddenly you're going to shift it to automotive, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going for a while. So that's one of the things I'm just I'm a bit confused about that. Maybe there is a pivot, but it's kind of interesting because they were getting some pretty decent views.
Yeah. I mean, look at it from this point of view. I've subscribed to our channel, and now you're talking about faith and religion. And yeah, so there was 4 videos here, I think, in a row about the Bible verses and testaments, and then things about, I guess, a discussion about perhaps Jesus or Christ. I mean, I'm there. I'm with you. I have no interest in Korean dramas, not one bit. How many people have an interest in Korean dramas and are also want to learn about Christianity on YouTube? There's probably a fraction of a percent there, and you're going to have difficulty reaching them. And then you double down on that, and so just common sense logic dictates that something really odd happened on your channel, and that's how. It may make sense to you as a creator, but to your audience and everybody else, it just seems really odd. And I think it's reflected in the data since you made that change 3 months ago.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from Shining Through NK.
Yeah, just
if this is a pivot, if she's still here. Yeah, we'd love to know kind of what happened.
I'm just checking. Does she have any more channels?
I haven't seen her pop back up in the chat, so I don't assume she's here at the moment.
So she doesn't have any more channels where she maybe could have placed that content. But there we are. All right, Zenzorus. Zenzorus is a huge fan of Savage. Obviously, we're a huge fan of you since all the work you do moderating and timestamping. I think you were on a guest. You were in the Halloween special.
Halloween
Zenzorus. Yeah, and we had a look at the channel, and I think we get some feedback. I'm not sure what's really changed here. You're still looking at the horror content. It looks as if you haven't done that. I mean, I think these were the videos you did, and then since we had the Halloween special, it's all about Savage. So if you want to go down that route, Zenzorus, we're not going to stop you. One bright spot here is that in the Amnesia Rebirth short, that did very well. I would be looking at that a bit more if you can. Yeah, another shot here that did well. Anything else, Jeff? I don't think you were in that Halloween special, so
yeah, no, I wasn't in for that one. But yeah, this is actually quite interesting. Obviously, this is a graduate of the Savage Academy, from what I can tell. But yeah, no, I kind of see what's sort of going on here. We're doing Amnesia, looks like the horror genre, but yeah, this is quite interesting, and I like what Zenzorus is doing. So, it looks like it's a pivot to horror. So okay, cool, all right, that's what he's saying in the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting, man. But I like what I'm seeing here.
Dan, have you got anything else to add here for Zenzorus?
No, I think we've definitely given him a bit of advice, mostly through Savage, so that can be kind of construed in very different ways. But happy to see a little bit of success with that shorts. But it'll take some time if you're going to pivot to a new strategy, to new content. That's going to take some time. But make sure you're following the tips that we give. Right, give tips, give tricks, give tutorials. Don't just have gameplay footage, because there's a million other people that can be brought up for gameplay footage. I know personally, when I search for Dark Souls 3 or I search for Phasmophobia, Usually it's because I want to learn something. I want to know how what I'm doing wrong, how to beat this boss, how to advance to the next level. What are the best gadgets in Phasmophobia that I should be bringing with me every time I go into a house? Not necessarily going to watch gameplay footage unless it's a more established channel, which I just watch anything that they play, or I just love their personality aspects of it. When you're really growing as a channel, when you're really trying to gain new viewers, make sure you're giving us the stuff that people are going to be searching for.
All right, that is Zenzerus, our hero in the in moderation. We salute you and your decision to go all in with Savage. What are our energy levels right now, Danny? You feeling good?
Absolutely. Let's
Jeff,
keep going.
are you still on form?
Oh man, I'm fading quickly, but I am still here.
Right then, so I think that's cleared out everything in my tab, Dan. So you just sent me some new stuff. So from 11:20, I think the message you sent me 11:20, those are new audits that we need to do. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So these are the new audits that have come in.
Yeah.
A few new shout outs. We have 2 more questions.
Okay.
And then we'll have to make a decision at the very end of this. We've had a few more people pay for audits, but we're over the 20 limit. So we can either make those shout outs, or if we have the energy at the end, we can do a few more audits.
Yeah, or maybe shift them to Tuesday, maybe. But let's see how we go with the first channel that we're auditing here now, which is Vibe. You have 11,000 subscribers. My guess is, before I look at anything else, I think maybe you're offering copyright-free music or covers. Let's see.
Some of them say remix, some of them say covers.
So maybe not actually.
Some of them say original.
Maybe not content to use on somebody else's channel. This is just...
it's a record label.
Ah, right, okay.
In the about section, they say.
Well, let's just quickly read that then. Okay, record label and YouTube channel. All right, and you've got 2 million views. So I think we won't bother asking the question, do you have permission to use this content, fair use, etc., etc., etc. Let's just assume you do. I like the thumbnails. I think these do have kind of a musical vibe to them. And I'm saying vibe because vibe is on every thumbnail, which kind of gives it away. I like that sense. It's simplistic. The branding is cool here. It's rare to see a channel with music and cover and that type of things that breaks beyond 100 views, because it can be a really difficult area to have a success on YouTube, because it's so competitive with all of the original artists' content. Jeff, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but have you ever audited any music channels through vidIQ? Because I think this is something that we struggle with generally during our Tuesday audits, as to how to help music channels go forward.
Yeah, no, it can be quite difficult. This is kind of a tougher genre. Music in general can be a tougher genre, being that it's an art form. But one of the things that I usually try to tell them, especially if they want to lean on ways to get more views, assuming it's not all original music, would be to look at, most viewed, look at what is trending as far as music is concerned. And if they're going to do a remix, make sure that the remix and stuff that people are searching for. So that way, let's say the hottest song right now is ABC by the Jackson 5 or something, and that's the hottest song right now, then of course you'd want to make a remix of ABC by the Jackson 5, blah, 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 remix. That way it becomes searchable and it comes up while people are already searching for it. So,
all right, get ready for the copyright claim here. ABC.
That's right.
Is 1, 2, 3, simple as do, re, mi, ABC. I can't remember the rest of it.
I dated myself, I think.
1, 2, 3, baby, you and me, girl.
Thank you. Oh, we're going to do a duet here, Dan.
What I would say as well, especially in this time of COVID, when no one's able to go see live music, if you are a record label and these are artists that are on your label, you should be doing some type of streaming. Like,
yes,
get these people out there to create a music in their home. I've seen bands like Goldfinger and Maroon 5 and people like that are essentially putting on shows where you can have your audience experience something that they've never experienced before. You know, they're used to going to live gigs, and that's something that's, you know, been taken away from a lot of us. You know, one of the beauties of living in New York and working in New York City is that any day of the week I was able to go to a live music show, go and hang out with friends and do something that, you know, might not be able to do in a normal situation. Now you have this opportunity. Maybe you can get them together for a holiday thing, something, you know, for the New Year's, when people are really expected to go out and have a lot of fun, and a lot of people are down about that. So maybe find a way to incorporate some live streaming and to bring some of these artists to the forefront.
Yeah. So I just did a search for Dua Lipa, and there's at least 15, 20 tracks here that you could turn into a playlist on a live stream. And yeah, so I guess at this point the channel's probably got hundreds of videos, if not thousands. And you can turn it into like a rotating mix of streaming music. Yeah. The way you do that is through what's it called? A VPS, a virtual. I'm trying to remember what the word is for this. I know that we've done this with Bubble in the past, whereby you set up a remote OBS service, and then you just live stream for forever, really, for 24/7. The chilled cow music, I think, is the most successful one of this. And I did just want to point out finally, Jeff, just in case you want to add anything, the best performing thumbnails, they're different. They're all bright, have the white vibe, where you now decided to go for this coloured theme. So I'm just wondering, really, there, if you perhaps made a mistake in switching your thumbnails, and that might be something to switch back to.
Yeah, I would go by the data. If you know, the click-through rates were better, and if you were getting more views on the ones that were just a clear picture, maybe it's not the vibe or look that you're going for, but I would respond to the data, make a more data-driven decision. And if they're doing better before, you may want to switch back. Maybe worth something, you know, A/B testing on your own.
Let's keep this moving then with Fry Minis, D&D reviews, DM advice, and tabletop miniatures. So I think a board game channel, but it very much has this video game vibe to it, a little bit. Actually, is it video gaming? No,
I think miniatures. So like tabletop gaming, you know, you paint miniatures and stuff like that. I think the obvious thing here is that they're really focused on text with all these thumbnails. But if you're creating miniatures, if you're, you know, playing games that have very cool visual styles to them, make sure that you're putting those, you know, first and forefront, especially if you're playing a bunch of different of these type of games. You know, from the outset, it'd be super hard to know what is, you know, one game and what is a different game without just having to read that text. And I know a lot of us, you know, you scroll through your feed, you see a lot of text, you're not reading a lot of that text. If it's a couple words and it's really bright and it stands out, sure, but you're really looking for the visuals, and you're in a visual medium. So as we said with the 3D printer earlier, make sure that you're focusing on those visual aspects of the game, because that's what draws a lot of people into those games to begin with, and that's what can draw people into your channel.
I like the style and I like the template, but as you say, each of these thumbnails in terms of visual appeal are dominated by the text. I'm not going to say destroyed by the text, because at least the text is very legible and striking in itself. But absolutely, I think this channel needs to test for the next 5 to 10 videos, embracing the idea of no text whatsoever, using the image itself to sell what you're going to be talking about in the video. The one query I have is, if we do see some of the illustrations, some of these look to be actual paintings or graphics rather than an image of a model. Like, I think this one is an image of a model that you're perhaps talking about. So that's where I'm a little confused as to, because it almost feels like when you look at some of these thumbnails, they look like loading screens for video games, which is throwing me a little bit as well. Having said that, though, for a channel that's been around for 4 months, 250 subscribers, very healthy views, I think you're doing something right. I'm just wondering if this is the right direction for your thumbnails. Certainly worth testing, because it may be that we're wrong and this theme works. Jeff, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, they had a few successful videos in here, considering that there isn't a huge set of data. Like there isn't a ton of videos. Yeah, a few of them did well. Overall, I mean, I like the scheme, but yet you're right. I mean, it's very, very text heavy. Especially right now at the channel size at this point in their journey is the time to test. And that's something that I would try. I like thumbnail consistency. I'm not going to lie about that. I definitely like that they are consistent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's something that I think you could play with a little bit just to see what might work a little bit better for you. See if something could improve those click-through rates.
And just one final thing from me. I think the logo is a little distracting because Fry Minis doesn't associate itself in any way, shape or form to D&D and modeling. And that, again, just takes me out of perhaps the immediate instinctive comprehension of the thumbnails in sense what we're talking about. I think this is probably a good one here. Stats don't matter. So if just by looking at the thumbnail and the logo and the image, I wouldn't know that this is necessarily about Dungeons and Dragons or about the board games. I would have to then read the title. And so I think some communication is being lost there.
I think a good move would be to maybe remove their own logo from each thumbnail and use a D&D logo to make it very obvious that this is about D&D.
Yeah, or they could just limit their text to one word in this top corner, and then have the image front and center here without any. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play with this, and also the timestamp is covering up whatever is in the bottom right hand corner. Is that a D&D logo? It could be. I'm not sure.
Looks to be the same logo on all of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is because of the timestamp. But anyway, I think Fryman is a very good start for your channel, given the niche that you're in and the foundations that you have in place, like all relatively long videos as well. So good stuff to see there. Let's move on to the next channel then, which is Lancelot. 220 subscribers, 25 subscribers for you. And you're a gaming channel, it looks like. And you're a gaming channel of 2 months. And you've determined that you're going to put yourself at the front of all of these thumbnails with a reaction, with something, with some objects. I think what might be hindering you a little bit is this background. I think you're blending a bit too much into the background because it's the same colours on your face and the background. The background perhaps maybe needs to be blurred or cut out completely. For example, in this one, there is a steering wheel there, but I think it's perhaps on a smaller thumbnail, it might be lost. Because you could almost be pointing to this chair rather than this steering wheel as well. So I think just a general work on the thumbnails. Having said that, though, I always just jump at the negatives here. You're on YouTube as a gaming channel. After 2 months, you've already got 200 subscribers, and some of your views are getting hundreds of views. Many channels never reach this stage after like 2 years of doing this. And so you're clearly tapping into your audience quite well. I've waffled a bit here, so hopefully down on Jeff, you've maybe noticed something as I've been waffling.
Yeah, they're doing some short stuff, so that's looking pretty good. Because if you look at the view counts on their shorts, it's looking pretty good. And as we've said many times, that gaming and shorts go very well together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something to lean in on. Whatever works a little bit better for you, whether it's the PS5, Xbox stuff, or just one or the other specifically, I would definitely do a little bit more of that if possible. If you insist on having your face in these thumbnails, I would definitely zoom in a bit closer.
Yes.
So we can capture that expression a little bit better. But yeah, no, I mean, overall, you're absolutely right. Just to give, some semblance of scale of where you are, doing pretty good considering the amount of time, the number of uploads, and your current view and subscriber numbers. Yeah, you're in good shape. There's good trajectory here.
And they haven't really got a specific gaming focus right now. It seems as if they're covering all consoles and gaming themes, not necessarily specific games as such. Dan, anything that's coming out for you?
No, I think you made a good point. I think he's doing a bit of a disservice to himself by having such a cluttered thumbnail, especially over and over again, because now we can't see necessarily what the focus is. Because those things in the background are, very similar in size, in shape, in color to the things that you've brought to the forefront. And that's kind of blurring all the images. But you're on a sort of a great track and a great niche here where you're doing restock updates for Xbox S. I know midway through this stream, Octorius sent me a DM saying, hey, PS5's in stock on Walmart. And I'm like, oh, this is the worst timing ever, but I'm still sitting here hitting F5 trying to get a PS5 while I'm working. So, if someone is giving me updates on when PS5s are going to be available, that's something I'm going to jump at, right? So make sure that Xbox One S is right there. And if you want to use your face, that's perfect. You want to be the face and personality of this channel. Take all of that clutter out of the background. Delete the background. Keep yourself. Keep that Xbox right there, and make sure that we know that this is how to get an Xbox S, how to get an Xbox One. Should I get an Xbox One? Whatever it's called now, Xbox X. They're screwing me with the naming conventions here, but make sure that is front and center, because obviously, we're not watching this video. I'm betting this is pretty good content based on the number of viewers, based on the amount of content that you have. I'm guessing that you're putting out some pretty good content. So don't do yourself a disservice and obscure everything that you're doing with this really crowded thumbnail. Keep on track. Keep on these Xbox, PS5, these things that you're getting really good results on, but make sure that everyone can see that. Make sure that everyone knows exactly what's happening. And even in your banner, you just have your name up there. Okay, that's great. You love your name. It's a good name. Let's get a little bit more information out there. Let us know exactly what you're all about at a quick glance.
Dan, take a breath. I think the background works on the videos because it's an impressive array of video game goodies. But as you say, on a thumbnail, it's too much. And I know there's a temptation to use that background because it's cool, but it doesn't work in certain settings. So I think, as you say, remove that background from the thumbnails. And I would also say the framing is a little weird here. It's like you've decided to give up on the top half of your the frame for some reason, and it's just bugging me from an OCD point of view.
No, that's important. The framing, bring yourself up. You only want this little gap above your head.
Yeah.
But also, getting rid of the background is literally as simple as standing in front of a blank wall.
And you can also use removebackground.com. That's a really useful tool for doing that.
That's another one as well.
A bit of a hack, but it does work. Mm-hmm. All right, I think this might be, for the time being at least, the last channel audit, and that is the Scottish nerd. And I think we've gone full circle here. We started with a Pokemon deck channel, and it looks like we're finishing with one as well, unless anyone else donates. And I think we're probably going to say similar things to us what that first channel was doing. They have some good foundations here. They're trying to focus on one or two cards in their thumbnails. The text is a little bland, I would say, in that sense. Probably need to tweak that a little bit. But also maybe sell the cards even more. Like here we have 3 cards, but I can't really identify anything from these cards. And also maybe a bit more descriptive, like super damage on this one, or this one's super rare, or like what is the unique selling point of these cards. And yeah, I don't know if you've decided whether or not... It feels as if you haven't decided if you're going to be in the thumbnails or not, because right now when you are in them, the lighting's not that great, or you haven't quite developed a YouTuber pose, so to speak. So I think if you are going to put yourself in the thumbnails, you almost have to dial your character up to 11 a little bit and really, do the strong emotion and be well lit, so that the viewer picks up on that emotional response to you in the thumbnail.
Yeah, 100%. Like we said, we started with a Pokemon channel that we thought was doing really well with those thumbnails. So that's definitely something to take a look at, right? People are coming for the cards. They're not coming for the text. So make sure that those are front and center and they're in your title. So if they're searching for a Charizard, they're searching for a specific Pokemon card, then they're going to come up on your channel that way, and they're going to see your image, and that's going to bring it up to you. If you're doing Theme Deck Tuesdays, which seem to be getting good views on certain videos, well, great, you're doing that every Tuesday. You don't need to tell us in big bold font.
Yeah, I agree.
Theme Deck Tuesday every Tuesday, right? Because it's Tuesday, and I'm here for Theme Deck Tuesday anyway. I don't need to read it to see it.
Yeah, the viewer doesn't care. Yeah. The viewer doesn't care about...
Looks like the focus is around, and you're kind of honing in on cards and Pokemon and decks. So keep doing that and see if you can reap the rewards from that.
The viewer doesn't necessarily care about the theme of something. They care about the value of the video content. And by all means, you can start to talk about today where it's theme deck for Tuesday, but do that within the video. Don't waste your pitch, as you say, Dan, with like big text in the thumbnail there. Jeff, we're almost there, I think. What do you want to say about this channel?
No, I completely agree. This is definitely something that they want to lean into what's working for them. And yeah, make sure you leave a little mystery, right? We always want to leave a little bit of mystery, both in the title and in the thumbnail, so that people have something to come back to, so they have a reason to click on. You don't want to just give it all away. So, but I like what I'm seeing here. Theme Deck Tuesday, that's a 36-minute video. So they don't look like streams. They look like actual videos. So that's pretty interesting. That's some serious watch time there.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it's all right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, the Scottish nerd. I have to say that in a Scottish accent. All right, we've just got a couple more things to do, I think, here. Should we do questions or shout-outs first, Dan? What do you reckon?
Let's do the questions. We got two questions, so
Sure.
That'll probably be a quick one to sort of run through here. Let me pull them up. So Trainer James donated $20 for this question. So thank you so much for the donation. And, thank you to everybody who has donated. And this is a pretty simple one. Does promoting a video on Twitter hurt or help a video in general?
I don't think any promotion is necessarily going to hurt, but I think it depends how much of a presence you have on that platform. For example, when we promote our videos on, let's say we promote a YouTube video on Twitter, it doesn't necessarily perform that well, because I think the Twitter user gets it that we're kind of doing a bit of self-promotion here. It's always much more beneficial to engage with the viewer on that platform. So you may do it as phrasing a question to somebody on Twitter and then saying, like, what do you think about this? We discuss it in this video. But even then, it doesn't tend to work that well. But maybe that's just my personal experience of being really bad at using cross-promotional social media stuff. Welcome alternative viewpoints on this.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, if you can, external traffic can be a good source if you have the ability to either share or promote your videos, whether it's on social media or in like Reddit, or subreddits. If you're able to do that, or if you have your own viewers or community members who can share that stuff there, it can help for sure. But it can be a bit difficult. I wouldn't expect explosive growth from like Twitter or anything like that. Facebook can help from what I've seen from certain channels, but it just depends on the topics. I say do it. As a rule of thumb, I say promote your stuff wherever possible. But aside from that, I wouldn't expect bigger results than what you can get from improving your content, picking better topics, and a good thumbnail strategy.
I'm sure you have a lot to say about this, community manager, Dan.
Yes, as a community manager and a former social media manager for the last few years, definitely.
Now recovering social media manager.
Yes. Well, what I would say is that each of these social media platforms sort of have a specific use, right?
Yeah.
Twitter is not amazing for promoting videos. It's amazing for if you have funny takes or interesting topics, and you need to develop a Twitter following. We see a lot of channels / people who you go to their Twitter handle and it's just link.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to gain any traction from that. Nobody's coming to Twitter to see your YouTube videos. That's what they go to YouTube for, right? And YouTube has a great search algorithm. So if you're doing great stuff on YouTube, people on YouTube are going to find it. What you want to do is, if you love Twitter, make sure that you're posting interesting stuff. Make sure you're retweeting other people. Make sure that you're using it as a community management tool to bring people in, to give a bit of your personality. And then every so often, when you think you have a really good video, or you have a live stream coming up, or you're doing something like this where you have a charity stream coming up and people can benefit from it, that is when you post your links. Everything we talk about is giving value to your community, right? If you're just posting a link, that's you expecting value from them. What you want to do is bank all this value to do all this good stuff, promote other people in your niche, promote other great ideas and content, and then you can expect some return on all that investment. If you're just going to Twitter as a promotion tool, that's not what Twitter's for, and you're not going to gain a lot of traction from that.
Whew, another Big comprehensive answer there, Dan. And I think we have one more left from Video Game Philosopher.
Yes, absolutely. Video Game Philosopher, who we audited on this previous live stream. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for the donation. So I have a video that is a color screen for an hour or two. I made it when I was scrambling for any traction. I'm considering removing it because I really enjoy my animations. The last 30 or so subscribers have come for that. I'm around 80 subs. My 6,000 are mostly from that one video, though. Wow, that is an interesting question. If your most popular video is a single color screen, but I will say you say that all of your subscribers have come from that video. I don't know how positive you can be from that. I know YouTube analytics will show you subscribers gained from a video. So I'm assuming that's where you're taking it from, but don't take that as gospel necessarily. We see a lot of weird fluctuations from that. And I think most of our subscribers are not ever calculated into that metric and that analytic. So I don't think a singular colored screen is really gaining you that many subscribers.
It's one of these things, it's a trap of where when you make something that isn't necessarily your normal content and then almost accidentally it goes viral, then what is your channel? I mean, it could be that you could then do hundreds of videos of watching different colors for an hour if it was on a channel, a separate channel by itself. I know there's a channel called, I always like to go back to this one. There was a creator who literally sitting and smiling at the camera every single day for 4 hours. And he was like a performance artist. And his videos get hundreds of thousands of views. Now, that's because he's doing the same thing over and over again, and the audience is used to it, and that's what they want to watch. Now, it's a tricky one, this, because it is bringing in, let's say it brings in 1,000 subscribers, and then 5 of those subscribers actually watch some of your content. Is that better than removing the video completely and getting 0 subscribers from it and getting no traction? I think people worry that this type of thing damages their channel. And my response to that is always, this is a part of your YouTube journey in the past. What you do now and going forward is far more important. And I don't think having these legacy videos harm your channel in any way. But I think you'll probably get slightly nuanced, different answers from all creators. So, Jeff, if you have a slightly different answer, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, with the color stuff, I mean, I wouldn't mess with it. If it's getting views still, maybe even possibly pulling in subscribers, cool. I wouldn't worry about it. If anything, I would, just like Rob said, I would be worried about what I'm going to be making my moves going forward, what my niche is, focusing on the topics that I'm talking about and making those improvements. I wouldn't do so much worrying about what happened, what's going on in the past on my channel, especially if it was a long time ago. I'm not worried about that stuff anymore. I'm looking at where I can aim my next video versus what my previous videos have done. Don't dwell on that stuff.
This is just a channel I wanted to show you of.
Yeah, I know this guy.
He literally sits down, or used to literally sits down and smiles in front of a camera. I think on one of his videos, somebody broke into his house.
Yeah.
But he stayed in character and just allowed that to happen. That is taking creativity to the next level. I'm not really sure why I'm telling you this, but other than weird and wonderful things happen on YouTube, and you had a weird and wonderful thing happen when people want to watch the color beige for an hour on your channel, and I would just leave it there and move on to the next things, whatever they are. I think what we were telling you in the live stream on Tuesday was you need to be more explicit in your content about Procreate, in that be very clear that this is content that you're doing about this piece of software and how to use it, and that type of thing going forward.
Yep.
Well, I'll follow up quickly as well, since he's Video Game Philosopher is in the chat. Yes, if you private this video or unlist it, you will lose those watch hours. So that seems to be something that they're concerned about. Correct. So again, we're telling you just to leave it there, right? If people come for that, but you start making great content going forward and awesome animations, then you know what? That's a reason for them to stay. If they disappear, then the fact is that they were never coming for your content to begin with. So at least save the watch hours. That could hopefully help you get to monetization a little bit quicker, but put it out of your mind. Don't even think about that video. Focus on what you're doing now.
Okay, I think that was all of the questions that we had in. So we have 3 more shout outs here. And I'm going to shout out the Spectrum Art Academy. This is a channel that's donated at least $10. So thank you for that. And you look to be, recently at least, a drawing channel. And you're drawing Christmas Disney stuff, which looks pretty cool. I like the thumbnails that you're showing us there. You've also tried shorts as well, which is good to see. And is that right? I thought you had more videos than that. Oh, no. So you are relatively new to YouTube as well, just finding out your place in the world. And it's good to see that all of your recent content is tapping into the Christmas theme, which is something you should always be doing with how-tos, creativity, that type of thing. And I think you've been rewarded with hundreds of views, which, again, many channels never reach this stage. And you're just applying a bit of simple logic, and it's working out for you. And so that is a shout-out there to the Spectrum Art Academy. Jeff, I think this is going to be your last shout-out too.
Hey, Micah, let's play. So that's my buddy Micah here. So it looks like that's what we're doing here. 162 subscribers, making these videos with, it looks like it's different games, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. So I'm seeing a lot of different games, but 100%. Thank you for the donation to the cause, and we appreciate you.
Come on, Dan. How do you pronounce this game? Let's play Noia 2? Naya?
Nioa. I've seen the game before, but
I have. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe that's maybe that's why it might not have been successful, because nobody knows.
There is a channel that I saw that has decent success, and it's it's sort of a foreign language channel, but it's how to pronounce. So they'll just have a girl come on, and it's how to pronounce Google, and she just sits there and says Google.
Very good.
Google, and it gets great views. I asked them to do a vidIQ one, but they said we don't have enough search volume.
Oh, shame. What have we got here? This is your one, Dan.
Yeah, Kathy McDowell, 251 subscribers. A pretty generic banner here. It's your face a lot. Thank you for the donation, but a quick audit is to give us a little bit more information. We're not really sure what's going on here. You're doing a lot of giveaways, and as we've talked about, that's probably not the best way to grow a community. We found in the past and in my other positions, when you do a giveaway, you'll get a few subscribers and followers, but they'll probably disappear pretty quickly because they're there for the giveaway. It's great as a way to reward your community, but give us a little bit more. Look, it's looking a lot about nails and fashion and stuff like that and makeup. So make sure that is in your banner.
I would say get a ring light and make sure that when you take the pictures of your nails, they look super sharp and bright. Because I'm just looking a little dark when I look at some of these thumbnails. But that is it, I think. As far as I'm aware, thank you, Kathy McDowell.
Well, we have the weird situation now where we have a few channels who have donated for shout-outs but are over our limit. There's only 4 of them, though. So do we want to do semi shout out / audits?
So which of these done then?
I just sent them to you in the Slack now.
I mean, I can keep going. And I promise people we would do, if they donated what they donated, then we would order them. But Jeff, if you need to hop off at this point, or Dan, go ahead.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
side by side.
I probably do have to hop off because I do have something coming up, but I 100% appreciate being here, being a part of this, and just want to say thank you to all the vidIQ community.
Yeah, thank you.
Donated. Seriously, it's for a good cause. We appreciate every single one of you. But yeah, man, I will catch you later.
Thanks for your time, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes,
man.
thank you so much, Jeff.
Right then, try hard with 30 subscribers. Let's just click on the video tab here. How long have you been on YouTube? Let me just check that. 4 months, but you posted a lot of content about many different things. Some memey stuff looks like it's going on there. Have you tried some shorts? I can't tell because of the thumbnails on some of these. No, so they are shorter videos, but not necessarily YouTube shorts. My general question to you is, what type of creator do you want to be? A gamer, in which case double, triple down on your Among Us content, and don't just have a title that says bad timing for. Tell us, like, specifically the bad timing in Among Us. what was the cause of this bad timing or something similar. And I think, yeah, so this is a shorter video, but not YouTube Shorts. Do a bit of research on YouTube Shorts so that they can be considered a YouTube Short, because you can grow very quickly with that type of content. And then you just have some sort of random stuff here. Cat vibing to dancing Polish cow. Okay. 3 best ways to fly. Okay. Again, as a viewer, I think you need to do a bit more than that to maybe get me to click on some of these videos if I don't know who you are as a channel and what you're trying to offer me. Dan, if you have...
Yeah, I think that's sort of the initial advice that we're going to give to a lot of small channels, is that you need to have focus. This is as unfocused a channel the last week or two as we've seen. And I would assume that's because they were doing this Among Us stuff, not seeing a ton of views, not getting, a lot of traction based on that. But that's okay, right? Not everyone's going to grow right away. You need to get better at editing, get better at titles, get better at creating ideas. The only way to do that is to create videos. So if you want to go in this new direction where you're doing a meme channel, you're doing all this crazy stuff, and that's what you think is going to, grow your channel in the future, then let's do that. Let's not do Among Us videos, then memes, then Among Us, then Fortnite, and jump all around. And it's going to take time, right? Again, that's another place as well. Add some stuff to your about. Make sure that your banner is on point. Make sure that people are getting good information without clicking on it, especially because memes are going to be so tough. A lot of competition, and also a very strange niche where there's definitely people who love memes and there are huge meme channels, but it's going to be hard to grow your channel just on memes. So you need to be doing trending topics. You need to be creating super funny things. And I think this is a place where Reddit and social media are really going to come into play. If you make a great meme, you put it on the meme subreddit, that is a good place to grow traction, because you're giving them the value exactly what they want. And hopefully they'll come back to your YouTube channel for more stuff like that.
Thank you, Tryhard, for the donation. John and Zoe's family vlog. You've hit 100 subscribers. Hang on, did we just shout out this channel? What?
Yeah, there's a double donation. So they paid for a shout out, and now they've come back and paid for an audit as well.
Okay, so then let's talk about text. Baby, let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things, all the bad things. Text heavy. There we go. Nice little choir there. If someone wants to clip that and turn it into a meme, they can do. So yeah, it's a family vlog.
Let's talk about text.
It's a family blog, and I think there are, because you see, I can see some children there, but then I don't see the children. Well, they kind of do, but again, they're hidden behind text everywhere. I'm not. Now, are you sort of almost blurring out your children a little bit?
That could be a strategy
for a specific reason. Okay, if you want to do that, but all I'm seeing, except for this one, this is here. Well, that one and that one, where there's a very clear face. Everything else is just very text heavy, and my eyes are drawn to the text, so I'm not really getting the family vibe out of these thumbnails. So I would look at similar family vlogging channels and see how they're using text, if they are, and then maybe embrace the idea of not using as much text. Because I'm
with you there. Let's remove those filters, remove this text. Yeah. Let's get us a clear image of your face and what exactly is going on here. You have a family vlog Christmas tree decoration. I can't see the decorations. I could barely see the Christmas tree on there. Bring that to the forefront. And a family channel is going to be a personality channel. I'm going to be drawn towards you as an individual, your family dynamic, the joy and the cheer and the fighting and the ups and the downs. So make sure we're showcasing that as much as possible.
I think some of the titles need to be a little more exciting here. Just looking at this one. Walking and vlogging at the seaside on the island of Kos. That seems very... It's a kind of file name you might have when you put in your personal pictures folder. Did something exciting happen on that walk that you can maybe hint at in the title? I think this one has a bit more excitement and edge to it, because The title is I Don't Trust Her, and she's going to be cutting your hair. So there's an element of danger there. Like, oh, I need to watch this because I need to know what happened to your hair. Although you're wearing a baseball cap in the thumbnail as well. So that kind of destroys the illusion a little bit. So there are all these little things that when you put them together, have big influences on people like me who are just looking at the thumbnail for the first time. So yeah, thumbnail and titling strategy and how they work together. And then
part of that might be forethought as well. They might have done the haircut and then been like, oh, now we need a thumbnail. Let's take the picture. Yeah. But the haircut has already been done. So forethought is always a super interesting part of any video creation. Whereas if you don't think about it and you look at a YouTube video, you just sort of assume that the thumbnail was an action shot from the video. It sort of happened naturally. But then when you start really thinking about it, a lot of these are pose shots. A lot of these are taken specifically for the thumbnail. So always go into a video thinking about these different things. What are the keywords that you're going to be putting into the video? Can you make sure you incorporate them as much as possible? What kind of thumbnail do you want to get out of this video? Can you set up the shot beforehand? That way we can have a before and after of a haircut, right? If you think about this at the end of the video, suddenly you lost your opportunity to create that style of thumbnail. So make sure you're putting a lot of this into consideration right before you hit record. That way you don't miss those opportunities at the end and you go, oh, shoot, I wish we could have done this along the way.
I just sorted the thumbnails by most popular, and as we can see, when there's a clear image of your face, they seem to be getting perhaps more clicks. And also, I think maybe including where you live, maybe there isn't enough content about the island of Kos on YouTube, which means that you're ranking a little bit higher when you include that as a keyword. So that might be something to consider.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what the island of Kos is. It's not something that I've ever heard of. So that is definitely a good niche to burrow down into. What are some of the interesting places on the island of Kos? What are some of the interesting cultural moments? It's obviously this year is tough. There's probably not a ton of Christmas stuff going on, but follow up on a lot of that stuff. If the island of Kos as a keyword, as an item, is drawing you a lot of feedback and a lot of positive traction, double down on that.
Square Table Degenerates Podcast, or sexually transmitted diseases when it's abbreviated. I think you may want to have think a little bit about that in your titles, because I don't think a single person is typing STD into their YouTube search and hoping to find you. I think they're looking for something entirely different. So think about that a little bit in terms of your wording. It looks like you're a podcast, I think. Well, you are a podcast, obviously, from your channel name. But what is this podcast about? It looks as if everything is on something different. A bit of American football here, and some election stuff. The band is back together, PlayStation 5. So my simple question to you would be, who should be watching or listening to this podcast and why? What is your target audience? What is your value proposition?
Yeah, and I think Travis had spoken to this a bit before. YouTube is not necessarily the best place to grow a podcast audience. It's a great place to bring your podcast audience for extra content. So if a lot of your videos are just your full-length podcast, well, again, people are going to watch that in a different manner. They're going to use their podcast app. They're going to download it in that place. But you can use YouTube for your best of moments, for your funniest moments, for things that are behind the scenes aspects of your podcast, things that they can't get through the original app that they're probably coming to you for. So don't think of it as a place just to create podcast fans, but think of it as a place to give them extra things that they can't get through their normal app.
There's a bit of wrestling going on here. You're talking to Brutus the Barber Beefcake a couple of times.
Oh, there we go. The booty man himself is on there.
Well, how many different characters was Brutus over his time?
The Zodiac?
Don't get me started.
I have one of the only things on my Christmas list this year is that my mom had mentioned that all of my old Hasbro action figures are still in the house. Yeah. So I was like, listen, I don't need anything, But if you want to polish up some action figures and, get them looking in a little bit better condition and bring them down to me, I will be like I was a child when I opened those figures up to begin with. And then suddenly you'll start seeing a lot more Hasbros up in this row right here.
Brutus the Bob Beefcake, of course, were part of one of the most pivotal storylines when Marty Jannetty was thrown through the barbershop window.
Oh, yes.
Kicked off the Heartbreak Kid.
And then
wrestling.
Suddenly, Marty Jannetty was tag teaming with Al Snow / Steve Cassidy, and
was it as the New Rockers?
Yes,
I remember. Boy, Marty Jannetty, what a life he has had. But let's not go into that.
Oh well, yeah, we'll slam cut to the next thing.
Tortured RC, so remote control stuff. I'll just be honest. My eyes have just been drawn to the red and white text when it should be about the remote control in this epic stunt that it's doing. In some of these it works a little better because it's contrasting quite well with the background, but then in others the remote control car is almost disappearing a little bit. So yeah, how do we fix that, I think, is going to be the challenge for you. I'm just gonna I'll do RT stunts and see if that remote control car stunts and see if that brings up any good thumbnails for you to potentially use. Like that one. Love that as a thumbnail. I'm not saying that you are able to recreate that every time, but there is certainly some style and action going on there. There's another one, really nice stop image of something in motion. And so going back to yours, again, for me, the text is just destroying your pitch as for the remote control car.
And let's be honest, we're not surprised when we Googled RC stunts what type of thumbnails we saw, right? We expect to see a big, bold image of an RC car doing something crazy, right? If we were to go to that and we saw a ton of images like that, we'd be shocked, because you're bringing your text first and forefront, and that's not doing justice to potentially what the content is, right? If you're doing amazing stunts and obviously you're putting a ton of time and effort into all this stuff out, in the Mojave Desert, or, if the Mojave RC car, obviously, I don't know what that is specifically relating to, but you're obviously putting time and effort into a hobby that you love. So there's got to be a lot of stuff involved with that. So bring that to the forefront, right? Show me your greatest stunts. Bring that to the forefront. Show me tips and tricks, right? How do I fix, common problems? If a wheel gets stuck, what's the best way to fix it? What are the best replacement wheels for my RC car? What are the best RC cars that are out there? Do, unboxing type videos of the best, stuff that is on the market now, because obviously you have a passion for this. Obviously you love RC cars and doing stunts and doing crazy things. Let us know about that. We don't want to look at a giant red box and white text. We could see that anywhere. We want to see what makes you you.
Now then, to rewind a little bit from the criticism, with 65 subscribers and how old's the channel? 3 months. View count's very, very healthy. So I think you're tapping into exactly what your audience wants every single time. So I don't think necessarily the content is that bad.
Yeah.
You just want more new visitors clicking on your videos. And I'm also thinking about this from a shorts perspective. In these 10-minute videos, you probably got these 30 seconds, 15 second epic clips, and you can bundle them as shorts as another way to create content. It looks as if you're doing maybe a video a week at this point, I would say. So yeah, another prime area of investigation for a channel which has likely these epic jumps that you can just slot into a short and see how it performs. But yeah, I think Dan and I are both agreeing that we can't get away from the text. There's something interesting behind this text, but I'm stuck on it.
Yeah, I think what we would say is that your channel is doing well, which probably means that your content is really good, and that people who are getting past the thumbnail are liking it and they're coming back for more. So we're just saying that this is a way to make it even better, right? Your click-through rate is probably not amazing because of these thumbnails, but your retention rate is probably really good. So now step up these thumbnails, your click-through rate will get better, you'll get more views, and these even more people will be coming back to see your awesome content.
All right, looks as if we've got another 2 channels that have come in here, Dan, is that correct?
We got 2 more shout outs, and I think we're going to call it at there. We're officially over $1,100 Thank you guys so much for the donations. It means the world to us that you guys are willing to kind of give back to us. We always say our value proposition is that we're giving to you. We don't want you to be seeing ads on our videos. We want you to get as much content as possible because time is precious. You spent your time with us and now you spent your money giving to a great charity. So thank you so much.
So these are channel shout outs, correct?
Yes.
So this is Sinchi42 with 50,000 plus subscribers. Congratulations to you. And you seem to be focusing your content on Rise of Kingdoms, which looks a little similar to Clash of Clans, maybe. I could be completely wrong there, and usually I am. But yeah, I've not seen this game before, so it looks as if you're one of the dominant leaders in this space, and you are pushing out a hell of a lot of content. I mean, this is all from the last week, so you're certainly doing well, and you're doing live streams as well. It seems to be in there. So all I can say is continue doubling down. Thumbnails are fine for me. The text is big, bright, and heavy. Maybe a little too dominant in some areas, but I mean, I'm never gonna give too much hate to a gaming channel that's already got tens of thousands of subscribers. So well done to you, Shinchi, and for the donation. And last, and sort of equally first and last, because all are equal with their donations. Dan, who was saying thank you to?
We're saying hi and goodbye to Darth Prince. Looking at the channel, it's pretty hard to know what they're about. Clearly, it's about them and their life. They're the focus of most of these videos. And obviously, they don't have a ton of videos to their collection. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your donation. Looks like SpaceX is a big thing about what you're covering. And that's perfect timing, right? Only great things are coming from all these rocket launches. I know they had their first space shuttle test up recently. So you're sort of at a perfect time and place to have an explosive growth for your channel. So double down on a lot of that content. If you love rockets, then bam, make a channel that's all about rockets, but also put those to the forefront.
All right. So I think, as far as I'm aware, we've covered everybody in terms of questions, channel shout-outs, channel audits, Savage Academy. Do we know? Did anyone do any donations for the Discord roles that we're probably going to do afterwards, Dan?
Yeah, we have a few. So obviously I have those saved up here. So I will definitely get to them. Mostly the people who are sort of in our Discord anyway, Cal and Zenzarius, the podcast Doctor, and Trident, all donated specifically for that. But if you did donate throughout this stream, DM me in the Discord, ISW Thunder. My DMs are always open, or you could ping me in the chat, and you will also receive a Discord role. We want to give as much thanks and appreciation for every single person who donated. So I'll be there handling these Discord roles today, tomorrow, for the rest of the week. We'll come back. I'll verify that you donated and make sure that everyone in our Discord knows.
And I want to do this just to make sure, purely by accident, and we didn't mean this if this is the case, we've missed somebody. I'm just going to mention everybody's name who's donated. So, Dan, if we do a page each, hopefully we can get through this in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So, first of all, thank you, Anonymous. I think that was me just testing this thing.
I believe so.
Savage, Jonathan Lopez, The Mike Lowry Show, Gadget Gecko, Anthony Frizzone, King Damon 2107, Premier History, Anonymous. I'll just say thank you to all of the anonymous donations collectively. R2 Lite Gaming and the Elliott family of 7. And if
here we go. Turnip 456, The Mentalist, Ferg HD, Mal versus Machine, Sam the Shrubber, Mad Dog Majima, Millie Black, Pixel Days, Relaxed Version 6, and your guy Small Fry.
And we apologize if we get any of these pronunciations wrong, as I'm going to do with this one. Wenkelaus, Strange Land, 305 Rider, Octorius, Kurt Sasso, Cal Coaches FX, Liz Zorab, The Real Deal, Your Real Estate Answers, and Hoosier State Fishing.
There we go. And we have Twisted Manifest twice, double Twisted Manifest, Drifty 13, my boy Pastrulio, DeWitt 3D, Vibe, Fry Minis, Tish, Sir Derple, and NK Omalachinawa.
Nice,
That was,
nicely.
That was Nkechi. I can't remember exactly what her channel name was.
Nicely done. Lancelot, Lucas, Orozco, 7C Hungry Box, The Scottish Nerd, Cooking Conversations, Crazy Domino, Michael Dione, BK42 Bike. I think you're going to change your name to, are you? Hashtag Trident to 10K, John and Zoe's Family Vlog.
There we go. And Zenzarius, our wonderful moderator, Franchise Gaming, Try Hard, who thanked us in the chat for his review, Technology Warehouse, Shazy VR, Moby's Kitchen and Lifestyle, my boy Ploppy54, Johnny B, Ray Bebe, and once again, John and Zoe's Family Vlog.
Yeah, they're doubling up as well. G24 Hour Gaming, Square Table Degenerates Podcast, Eric Howell, Cobalt 12, the man himself, Jean-Luc Picard, Ginger Snap Gaming, Trainer James, the Golden Labradors, Hyper Spider 7, Mr. Ken Wins. I'll say Patrick Stewart as well, just to make sure that I do say the right name.
There we go. And I think this is wrapping it up. Video Game Philosopher, the Spectrum Art Academy, Micah Let's Play, Just James, thank you, James, Tortured RC, Kathy McDowell, Video Game Philosopher, vidIQ, which was actually me, cool. But I was logged into the vidIQ account, Shinichi42, and Darth Prince. Thank you so much.
Just refresh to make sure there aren't any more. That is it, Darth Prince. Okay, so we, in the end, raised $1,120.85, beating our goal of $1,000. Well, it was actually $500 when I first started the stream yesterday. So everybody here and who has donated, we thank you very much. Yes, this was a channel audit stream with a financial barrier to it for a very good cause of donating to Thankmas, but we will be returning as normal on Tuesday with the regular vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live stream. Thank you very much for spending nearly 3 hours with us here on this live stream. It's been wonderful. It's fantastic. It's great to see many of you contributing, especially during these uncertain and hard times when there's not necessarily as much free money to donate. And so we really do appreciate that. And that is going to a very good cause, of course. Dan, if you have any final words, let's hear them now.
Yeah, just a quick extra shout out here, actually, to the mods who have been doing great work in this chat. DCU Studios has been here, Michael Shiro, Cal, Octorius, Zenzarius, Travis back in the chat here at the very end. Thank you guys for keeping the lockdown here. I'm sure there was plenty of spam going along, and I was not really in the chat paying attention. So thank you guys so much for helping me out.
And we will be signing off right now. Thank you very much for watching.